All right, my friends, I do believe it is time to start the party. Let's do it.
I know that you're trying to fix me, but I don't wanna be like you. If you wanna take it back to the 50s, maybe I'm not the guy for you. You're dying not to work, but work until you die, you know that's true. Have you thought it through? Cause you love to tell me what to do. Say no, I'm not like you, I don't think that you get it. You should go and get out, I'll make you regret it. Someone like you should worry about. Maybe your two's upside down. And I'm not like you, I don't think that you get it. I don't wanna put on a smile, everybody expects me to. So you can keep your suit and your tie, gotta hope that it strangles you. Yeah, I do. You buy shit you don't need to impress the ones you hate, that's so up. Cause everything you own just ends up owning you. So, dear society, you suck. Say no, I'm not like you, I don't think that you get it. You should go and get out, I'll make you regret it. Someone like you should worry about. Maybe it's you who's upside down. And I'm not like you, I don't think that you get it. Ooh. Dear society, you suck. Am I the only one who's outside of this box? Who cares about your posts? I know they're only fake. Show us what you own and how much money that you make. Yeah, I know that you're trying to fix me, but I don't wanna be like you. Keep your stupid job, pretend that you're the person you wanted to be. And you're dying not to work, but work until you die. And you're dying not to work, but work until you die. You're dying not to work, but work until you die. You're dying inside. Say no, I'm not like you, I don't think that you get it. You should go and get out, I'll make you regret it. Someone like you should worry about. Maybe it's you who's upside down. I'm not like you, I don't think that you get it. Yahooza.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Marcus Show for May 18th, 2023. Look at us go. What is it, Thursday? We're live. Can you believe it? My eyes aren't even open yet. At least if they are, they're not connected to my mind, body, or soul. But what is up? Hello, and how the heck are you? What is happening? I don't have music. Everything's broken. Hello. Give me a minute. Because, you know, who needs a minute when you got days and weeks and hours and months, right? So while I, come on. No? Okay. Hello? Okay. No. Okay. That's unfortunate. It makes my job a lot harder. 1 second. I don't know if they work anymore. Oh, that's so unfortunate. Damn it to hell. I need these for today. Other days I can adapt, but if I'm having a conversation with somebody, sweet merciful monkey tits, I want it to work. So how the heck are you guys doing? Welcome to Thursday, May 18th, 2023, year of our Lord. Can you believe it? I can, because I've been here the whole time. Where'd you guys go? So hold on. Let me figure this frickin' jack of all assholes out for a second. So we got, boom. Okay. No. Why do things change? Right? Why do things change? I didn't tell you to change. I didn't tell you to change at all. Oh, now I have to remember how to do this. Hold on. Hello? No, that ain't it. Stand by. Is it this one? Jesus, motherfucker. Stand by. Does anyone else think it's really loud in here? Oh my God. Okay, I fixed it. Jeez. Well, I'm glad you guys. I had the power of God anime screaming at me there. Holy moly. Okay. Whew. Let's turn that down. Let's turn that down. Let's turn this up. Okay. Whew. Can you guys hear me? Hello, everybody. Can we officially start the show? Or have we not accumulated enough fucks to cluster with? Seriously. Wow, Zers. You know what? Let's do this just because. Let's throw a whole shade of fuckery everywhere we go. Nobody knows. There's too much happening for me to keep track, and that's okay, because the more I have to keep track of, the easier it is for me to not think about the darkness. No, but in reality, you know what I've learned? I am living a life devoid of conflict, and it's killing me. It is killing me to not have conflict in my life. I was born for it. What happens when you take a wolf out of the woods? They stop hunting and they die, man. They become complacent. They're shells of their former selves. All right? What happens if you take the gorilla out of the trees? They got nothing to swing on. They're just gonna sit in a beanbag chair while fucking eating Cheetos. It ain't the way. Okay? You don't take a warrior out of the war. And I think that's what I did. I need to fight something. I need to fight a cause. I need to yell at people who deserve it. It's just, hey, if you got it built in, man, every hockey team needs enforcers. Okay, we can't all just play with our sticks all day and call it good. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I had a little bit of an epiphany. I had to yell at this jackass the day before yesterday, and I felt so good. It was the first time I'd felt like happy, like genuinely happy in a while. And that's not saying I don't ever feel happiness, but there's a difference, man. All right, who's ever seen Rocky 14? I think it was actually, which one did they really address this one in? The one he tried to come out of retirement. Was that 4 or 5? Or 5 or 6? The one he tried to come out of retirement, he went in front of the boxing commission, was like, "Hey, yo, let me box, huh?" And they're like, "But you're old and your head's gonna explode." And he's like, "Hey, yo." And then they're like, "All right, let him box." Whatever that one was, like he made such a good point about, you know, hey, yo. All I'm trying to do. That's a bad accent. That's a bad Rocky. Hey, yo. Adrian. All I want to do is what makes me happy, huh? Come on, over here. I haven't... Damn. I'm struggling today with the voices, man. I haven't done voices in a while. Do you know what I did do? Me and Lindsay and I recorded a little child's cartoon yesterday, which was pretty fun. Now I just have to figure out how to make it and turn it into a cartoon. Well, by the look of the clock, I'm pretty sure it's almost 12:15. And by that, like a muscle, gotta flex it. Like a wiener, gotta flick it around. Not like flick it, that's rude. Only a few people are into that. All right, you ready to party? How do I call? There we go. All right, hold up. All right, CTown. CTown. I'm calling him. Don't even care. Don't even care calling him. One thing that worries me, though, is I can't hear him. CTown. Hold on a minute. All my settings were changed. I've been hacked by the IRS. Yeah, they're coming after me, man. Lucky for them, I'm too quick. I'm getting 3 dots. That's what I'm getting. Oh, good. We'll give it a minute. Give it, or, you know, if we have to, we could pull up the streams, and then it'll just look weird to everybody. What is up, man? How you doing? Oh, it's good. It feels good that you're here, let me tell you. That's amazing. What is it, 26 years old, finally don't have homework? Hey, I'll tell you what, it never goes away. I give my real estate clients homework all the time. I use that word even. Yeah, I do. Homework is a part of life. That's why you go to school, because it's just to train you to be a cog in the wheel, man. Take away all independent thought and get you used to being told what to do. Didn't you know that? Well, that's some people's theory. Well, yeah, hey, that's why, just like anything in this world, you can either be the cog or you can be the person running the machine. But just because you're not a cog doesn't mean you can't understand, or you don't get to understand what the cog's purpose and function is, man. Okay? What would you rather be, the janitor or the person running the janitor company? Both people are janitors. Yeah. So I got dots and nothing but dots. What's happening here? Let's do it. Wait, are you streaming using Discord? Oh, Fletch, what's up? Yeah, let's try it. I think I should be in it. It's called CTown Brown Clown, right? There it is. Squad. CTown Squad. Yeah. What is up, CTown people? I appreciate you letting me steal away your boy so we can talk all things CTown. All right, where am I going? I got Star Wars, Twitch, the Long Dong Club. What the hell's that about? What Discord am I in? The Booty Clappers. That's right. I want to go into that one. I don't see any voice ones here, bud. Where am I looking? Conversation. It's locked. Says locked. Have I not joined your rules? I have not verified my account, I'm pretty sure. Doubt it. Oh, I bet, man. Hey, man, you're in mine, right? Because here's the deal. The reason why I did it is because Discord will ban you for stuff you say off of its own site. And I disagree with that principle. So then, fuck yeah, dude. Discord has a policy that if you say something mean on Twitter and they deem it worthy, they'll ban you from Discord. Even if you haven't done anything bad on Discord, just because you were a bad boy somewhere else, that freaking big red hand of the social media sickle just slaps your eye in the ass, man. So ever since Discord did that, I use Discord out of it's the one to use, and whereas everybody else. But from a policy point, I completely disagree with who they are as a company. All right, let me do it. I got CTowns and then voice. Comms is locked. All the everything is locked. Okay, confirm. Hello. Conversation station. I'm in here. What's up, Fletch? How are you? Thank you for being here. It's a true pleasure. Yeah, here I am. Because all you got to do... Oh, no. How the hell did we do this last time? Live on Twitch, watch. Is the camera's not working because both of us are streaming. But, okay. Let's see, watch. Well, that just brought me to Twitch. I think I know the problem though. This is what's happening. We're using our cameras for OBS, right? But, so it can't be used for Discord also unless there was another source for it to pull from. So we have to, that's why I just remembered. It's been a while since I've done these interviews, but that's what it is. So in the world of how this works is you have to take your streaming source and turn that off so that the Discord can capture it, which is a pain. So the other better option, no, not the feed. So like, you know how on our OBS we have our sources and then it's, you know, main camera, whatever. Right now, for me, it's main camera. So that's camera source cannot be used by Discord because it is taken by OBS. So for us to do this, like, how do you guys do it on your when you did the thing with the, you know what I'm talking about. I just don't want to speak it because they don't get the PR, right? What was the method for that? But your guys' weren't going to OBS, right? Yeah, and that's why. So ultimately, what are our choices here? We have I know, but I'm pretty sure the way we did it, did we just capture the screen? No way, because then our audio would be off. Because you got the 3 dots. So if I go turn on camera, because it's, see, watch, because if I go to my webcam, I bet you it works. Or it won't. What the I don't know. Lindsay, try to do a video call with maybe if Reagan's available. Oh, I got an idea. Okay. I'm gonna try to check this out. So what if we go like this? Ooh, and your computer should be able to handle this. So if I go live, can you see my OBS? And then you could just frame into my preview. And then I could do the same for you and I could just frame into your preview. But I'm still getting 3 dots. Oh, okay, share screen. And then go live. Hello, Bertha. Or will that not let me do that? Okay, so if I go like this, and then I go like this, then I go like this. You've been disconnected, sit tight, we're patching you back in. And then crash. Yeah, we just need to see. I'm pretty sure this is our problem, but let's eliminate that as a... All right, watch. Yeah, so I got you there. So I could easily crop this down and use that. Why the frick won't mine do it? Share screen. Screens. Boom. And boom. You've been disconnected. Sit tight. We're patching you in. All right, is this possibly because we're in your lockdown Discord? Yep, all right. Yep. All right. Hey, for everybody chilling, hang out. Thank you. We're getting this figured out. So we're going I'm sliding into CTown's DMs. Starting a voice call. Yeah. Hey, bada boom, bada bingo, bada doola, right? So now you just crop that down. Same. So I don't know if you're looking at my screen. I got this one right here. Boop. So once you'll be here. Yeah. Oh, shit. But that'll still work because then I'll just, I don't know if you're looking, but you crop out this, and then I'll crop out yours. Yeah, let me see what you got going. Man, we're so professional, CTown. The biggest of the breaks. All right, this is your screen. Now I can do it for you. Turn off the static. No, this is your Twitch. Oh, man. Hey, well, I got the raw footage, I guess. I need your screen. Oh, shit. Hold on. This is the jankiest. Look at me go. I'm all little. Whoa! Wow! That is disgusting. That is disgusting. No, I go from my Canon to, what the hell are these things? Elgato Dilly. And then from there, I go in straight to the computer. And because on Discord, I don't have Nitro or whatever, so I only am at the lowest. How do we... People do this all the time. There's a way. We just have to be smarter than the average idiot. And we'll be in there like Flint. Let's see. Is that... Okay, yep, so if I go... Yeah. Here we go. Boom. What's that do for you? What does that do for you? Wait a minute, we're wicked smart over here. All right? You got to see all my, I want to go put on my coat with elbow patches, though. That was a compliment, man. Call me a principal. I liked my principal. He was cool as hell. I'd be in jail, man, if it wasn't for that. So man, there are like 7 of me on all these monitors right now. It is a lot to take in. I got a really nice Marcus over here. I got the really pixelated Marcus on your stream. Oh, man. Hey, you got to show the people that shine, baby. Yeah. And then we'll show you later how to make an overlay so you won't have to worry about getting those lines so perfect. Cutting out a hole. I love it, though, man. That thing looks slick. Easy. All right, now it's your turn. Now it's your turn. Now I got to do you. That was awesome. Yep, and then share your screen. This is all working according to plan. Oh, shit, I need my chat up. Well, who needs your chat? Boom. Go back to you. All right, what do you got? Boom. Yeah, so you share screen there. And then where's my OBS? Gimme. You. All right, so then I got to take this guy. Now, where the hell's Discord? Whoa, what's going on, CTown? CTown, what's happening? You've awoken the sleeping dragon. Where's he at, people? Where's he at? No, I'm not seeing your desktop. I don't either. What do you mean? Okay. Talk to me, Goose. Do you have 2 monitors? Yeah, okay. Drag your preview to your second monitor that you don't need. And then I think that's the window you want to capture. We should have. Well, I think we forgot how easy or how hard it was last time. Because what are you at? You're not. What do you need from me, boo? All right, is that your screen? Okay. I can't. Because what is this capture? Oh, wait a minute. I need to capture this. This is right. What I'm going to do, can we pop out a Discord thing? That would be a pop out. All right, so if I pop you out, perfect. That's the best option. If I pop you out, then this is what I capture. Discord call, change that to... How do I capture you? My background. Yeah, so if you're looking at my thing, because what I got, okay, what did I do last time? Are you seeing this big thing? Which one? So is it Discord is being captured? Hey man, what? You didn't tell him this was the show? What do you mean? This is the show. So I am looking at your screen and I feel like your camera's gone. I need to see your OBS. Can you share your OBS with me? This is what I need to see. But now I gotta, okay. So let me just try this and then I'll try to go back to whatever the hell I was doing. And then, no. Because if I could get you where I need you to be, and then I'll try to go back to where I was, and then something will happen from there. That's my current goal. No more touching. This is a touch-free zone. No hot tub in sight. Yet. I want a hot tub so bad, though, man. Okay. They're not. You know what's expensive, though, is the upkeep. That's where they get you, is the upkeep. Okay, that's not too bad. How's the pixelation for our boy CTown? The hell is that? Okay, all right. So there's CTown. Mine is perfect. What does yours look like? Okay. Grass. Okay. Woo! Okay, what are you? This is going to go away. Boom. Okay. All right. I think. Can I hear you? Mic check 1 2. Baba. I do, depending on the jazz, actually. What's up, Merc? Okay. Woo! All right. Are we there? Did we do it? Yeah. Let's go. Hello, CTown. What is up, man? You can't hear who? You can't hear CTown? You guys couldn't hear CTown the whole time? Oh my gosh. All right, what about now? Talk, CTown. Why can't they hear you? They want to like... I'm capturing it now. CTown. Boom. What about now? Talk.
Hello?
Yo.
Can you guys hear me? Yo. Yes.
Oh, you should have hollered out, wife. Yeah, it's coming.
Okay, now they can?
Well, it will. You're on the board, so I know you're getting pushed out.
Oh, okay. Okay. So this entire time, for like the last 20 minutes, nothing.
They haven't heard any part of you.
Nice.
I've just been yelling into the great abyssal void that is
Nice.
the internet, and once again, we have landed on our feet.
Nice.
Oh,
All
man. This is nuts. Okay, it works.
Yep.
Let's
All
pivot.
right.
Boom. I turn
And
off the
everyone
music.
Everyone can hear Marcus all right, correct? Just to confirm with my chat, because you guys, I'm seeing all your comments. They're freaking out on us, Marcus. I'm
Oh.
like, fix it, hurry up.
We're working
here
on
for
it.
nothing." Yeah,
Okay?
like it was.
If you ever needed to know how many monkeys it took to fuck a football, you just figured it out. Okay, it's one big
Nice.
bald one and a young college graduate of one. That's how many it takes, okay? Holy cow. Apparently in college they didn't teach you how to hook up OBS calls or whatever.
Nah, we don't do that in college, man. You know,
Man.
it's you know.
You sure? It seems like this
Yeah.
year a whole generation got to learn about what it means to set up Zoom calls and live a digital life.
Oh, actually, we'll get to that.
No, we
but
will.
That's gonna be a hot take.
Yeah.
That right there alone was something.
So if you don't
So-
mind, do you mind me prefacing what we're doing here real quick?
Absolutely, yeah. Go
All
for
right.
it. Yeah.
All right, so for those of you who don't know, where the hell have you been? Okay, this man right here, the man with the plan, the jawline himself, Senior CTown ladies man, is finally back in our lives and sharing yet again his awesome experiences. Today's a little specific though. We're not just talking about his rap battles underneath the bleachers. We're not just talking about his numerous love affairs and his pursuit of eternal romantic relationships. We are here to talk about college. And let me tell you, for somebody who tried to go to college a bunch of times and we never ended up liking each other, to somebody who did an aggressive level of college, it's going to be pretty interesting to see the perspective that comes out of CTown. So CTown, thank you so much for being here, man. Thank you for sharing your story. And I'm just very excited to hear what it was like for you to earn your degree. And it's now 2023. As an old guy, I just can't imagine what college is like right now. So please, man, I'd love to hear what it was like. Share your story. Where
Yeah,
did it all start?
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. So first I'd like to start out with, as of right now, I am the last person in my family to graduate college because I'm the youngest person in my family.
Yeah.
So, and you know, no one's, well, I mean, people have had children, but they're nowhere near college age
Mhm.
yet. So it's, you know, it's going to be a while before the next generation in my family
Yeah.
goes to college.
Before the
again,
new
you know?
CTown
So-
hits the earth.
Exactly. So I pretty much had like a I guess like a standard to live up to in my family, if that makes sense.
Really?
It
So
was
there
like-
was like an
kinda like-
expectation.
An expectation, yes, exactly. Like when I was in high school, I was 17 years old and I went to the, you know, college fair.
Oof.
Yeah.
I know
I was-
exactly what you're talking about.
I was so naive back then, man. I was like, oh, okay, wow, all these people like me. I was talking to all these different, you know,
Probably a bunch
I
of pretty
can't wait.
girls. I bet you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, a bunch
Yup,
of club
yup.
presidents were like, hey, look at our college.
Yep.
And they sucked
Yep.
you in.
And
So
guess
did you?
what? I applied
Go
to
ahead.
all of them and did not get in. So, GGs.
Wow. So they
Yeah.
tried to recruit you. And then when you basically took the bait, they said, just kidding. Get the hell out of here. Why were you being denied? I guess, how does that work? How does applying to college, and what year did all this start? So you were 17.
Oh,
What year was
yeah,
this?
this goes back to 2014. This
Wow.
goes back nearly 10 years ago. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So and there's we'll go over why there's a big gap and all that stuff. I
Hey,
think Marcus
yeah,
already
you're good.
knows, but yeah. So I'm 17 years old. I'm at a college fair and I'm like, dude, I'm gonna graduate high school pretty soon. Like, man, it's coming. It's happening.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I applied to a couple of schools and, you know, I didn't get accepted anywhere. And part of the reasoning, I think, was my SAT scores. And
Okay.
for those of you that don't know, I think the SATs are just absolutely one of the stupidest tests you could possibly take in all of society. Like,
They are very
it
standardized.
proves nothing.
It doesn't.
It proves nothing.
It doesn't.
It's like an IQ test. I mean, you know, okay, yeah.
It's an IQ
there's something
test,
to
but
say
it's
about it.
curriculum based is the biggest problem with the SATs.
And you can't study for it because you don't know exactly what's going to be on the test, which is
Yep.
stupid.
Yep.
Like, what? So, I from what I understand, the scoring ratio has been changed multiple times since I took them.
Oh, wow.
So I got like 1,000 on the SAT, and I think the maximum
good?
score back then. No, it's terrible.
Oh.
I think the maximum score is like 2,400 or something crazy like that. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
When you
But
do you remember
was,
taking the test?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
What if like why did you know at the time like I'm bombing this, or did you not realize?
Absolutely.
Yes, did you
I
really?
did, yes.
Yeah.
I went in there knowing like this test is stupid. I want this day to be over.
Ooh,
and
shit.
I want to go home and play video games. that's
Fair.
you know,
like I would imagine
like,
a lot of high schoolers share the same sentiment. Yeah.
Yeah. So I believe the scores were changed anywhere from like 2,000 to 1,600 or whatever. They changed. I haven't kept up since, in a while, but yeah, they changed the scoring multiple times. So yeah, I took it when the maximum was 2,400. And Marcus, just to give you some perspective, you used to get points just for writing your name on the damn thing. So
did you have to spell it right?
Yeah. Hopefully.
Yeah. So, damn. So you probably did you just kind of like fuck it, I'm out of here and just kind of go through it?
I mean, I tried. I didn't go in there and purposely get stuff wrong.
Yeah.
I think I would think that I probably did better on the math portion than the English portion. Because growing up, I was always better at math than English because my English classes consisted of me reading a book that I don't care about and then having to write a paper about it.
Oof.
So
no way.
Yeah.
See, mine was the complete opposite. I was an English kid because I love to write. I love to tell stories. Believe it or not, I love to talk. Right. But math, I would talk about a class I did not go to. So before you took these SATs, did you have the idea like I'm going to college?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
For sure. Because like I said, there's a standard in my family that exists, and pretty much everybody in my family has gone to college and graduated, besides my grandparents, because they just came from a time where
different world.
College, doesn't really exist besides for like doctors and lawyers and whatever. So yeah, everybody else, my dad, my uncle, all my cousins, every distant relative that I'm aware of has gone to some type of college. So yeah. So I'm the last one to graduate. So for now,
that's crazy.
So
when you went
when I
in,
graduated,
go ahead.
What's that? Yeah. So when I graduated high school, I decided to go into the military because also come to find out it's very expensive. And you know what my parents told me is that, we'll help you pay for college. And the average person would think, oh, okay, all right, my finances are covered. No. Yeah. They said they would give me a whopping $5,000 a year to help pay. That's it.
And how much was your degree at the time? How much would that have covered?
That would have been like a fifth. I mean, they might as well keep it, know, like
use it on themselves.
Exactly. Yeah. Or just
still a very nice gesture,
or
but damn. So did you end up taking out loans?
No.
Good for you. Good for you.
Because what happened was I joined the military. So
that's right.
2 months. Yeah. So 2 months after I graduated high school, I went to basic training. After the college fair was over junior year, I went into my senior year. And at the beginning of my senior year, I just decided to enlist because I was just like, dude, I don't know what to do.
Really?
I don't know what I want to be when I grow up. Yes.
And they
came to my high school.
They get you?
Well, yeah, they were cool and everything. And, look, I was the CTown on the internet, on Twitch, on Battlefront, on Apex, whatever. I was a completely different kid back then. You guys, teenager CTown was somebody else.
He was a rap battler. What do you mean?
Yeah. So I went to basic training after I graduated high school. And then I completely used my GI Bill up until now, and they fully paid for my schooling. But there are some catches with that. It's bare bones. They literally only pay for what it costs to take the classes. That's it.
Yep.
So
because are you doing the Montgomery or the post 9/11?
No, post 9/11. Yeah. I was just told that in this day and age, post 9/11 is just a better.
It really is. The Montgomery's where it started. And for those of you who don't know, so essentially when you join the military, here's the synopsis. It's not just as simple as join the military, they pay for your college. Join the military, do your job, and then you qualify for while you're doing it. And then as long as you get out as long as you get out without being a dirtbag, you keep that GI
Oh
Bill.
yeah. You can't
right?
just join in and then dip out in
Exactly.
2 seconds. And yeah,
But for those who qualify,
yeah,
essentially you get a pool of money that you get to use on your college, right? And it's not like CTown said. It's like CTown said. It is not just a blank check that lets you buy all your books and your board housing if you stay in dorms and your parking. And there is a well of expenses that come. But if you do it right, though, which you probably did, you just kind of use 100% of it and move forward and get college for mostly free. But did you have to work while you were going to college?
Some of it, yes. And I was on a very, very tight budget because you know, the money they give you, like you said, it's not a blank check. You can't just go out and buy cars and, you know, TVs and, you know, speakers or whatever. You can't, you're going to go
tuition.
Yeah.
Pay
tuition. So it's literally what the school is charging you. And then the government turns around and says, okay, here's that exact amount of money. And then boom, your classes are taken care of and that's it. So like I said, parking, books, if you do live in the dorms, which I did not, hard pass.
Yes, good call. You already did the dorms in the military anyway, man.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
You've been there, done it.
Yeah. Yep. And
So
also, like, I'm a little older than the average student, especially now.
So
I'm not trying to room with some 18-year-old man. That's
no.
He's not even old enough to drink. What am I gonna do if I want to, you know, sip a couple bottles after a football game or something? You know, it's like.
And then with the rules, are you allowed to have that liquor because he's underage?
Not. Yeah.
No, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's too much of a liability at that point. Yeah. So, where was I going with this? Oh yeah. So
you joined the military.
Yeah.
I have one question.
You know,
how much of college was behind joining the military?
Oh, so joining the military was 2015.
Okay.
College started 2019.
Oh, so you didn't do any college until you got out.
Exactly. Yes.
Interesting. So when you first joined the military, did you say that was part of the plan? Like, I'm going to have college or was it, I guess the question I'm trying to ask is how much of a motivating factor to joining the military was college? Or was that a nice side effect from going to the military?
I would say it was about half.
Okay.
The other half was like, I just didn't know what to do. My family also has another standard where it's like, you know, apparently by the time you start high school, you're supposed to know what you want to be when you grow up. And I didn't. I'm one of the only people that did not.
How dare you?
And my parents were not happy about that. They were always pestering me throughout high school about, you know, like, hey, you know, what interests you? What do you want to do as a job when you grow up and blah, 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 all this other stuff. I'm like, I don't know.
And you didn't have like a poll.
No. And then they compare me to like other family members that are like closer to my age saying, oh, well, cousin, whoever just, you know, graduated and he's doing this, blah, blah, blah.
Gosh.
And I'm like, oh,
good for him.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah.
Yeah. That is, and I'm not doing that. What's your point? Yeah.
Yep.
Interesting. So do you mind me asking, what do your folks do for work? Like what type of personality types are we talking about here?
Okay, well, my dad is an athletic director at a community college.
Okay, interesting. A little bias there.
I used to go there, you know, all the time growing up because he has his own office and everything. He'd bring me all the time there when I was a kid and whatnot. And I've seen the student body there. I have seen their budget there. I have seen it and heard it all. I was like, no, bro. I could have went there for free, obviously, but
wow.
I'm good, bro. I'm good on
you.
that.
Good for you.
And then my mother is a kindergarten teacher.
So also education. Interesting.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes.
I could see that being, I mean, because I've known some people in education and the narrative that you're saying is, it adds up a lot. It's not, I'm not trying to shit on it. It's why I'm kind of dancing around the words, but if you're in the system of education, I've learned that very few people see other options outside of that system because the way education is developed, it's such a railroad of careers. You go into college, you know exactly what college you're going to work for and what position these things get. If it's education related, I'm saying.
Yeah.
Private sector is different. But for example, my wife, she went to college and had an education. I wish she was here to say it, but her degree was in education. So when she graduated, she got a job at a college. And then as like everything about her degree only existed because colleges exist. You know what I'm saying? So like the
Right, okay.
idea of like there's not other ways to get jobs besides getting a degree. I see that logic a lot in people who work for schools. I'm not saying it's a negative thing, but I would compare it to more like, the lifers in the military. They
Like
just
20 plus years.
yeah, they don't. It's like, well, this is great here. Why would you not do all of these things? Because it's the way to be. And I've seen a similar correlation between that and like people who are in the education system.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So basically, the plan was to join the army and just see how it goes. Was definitely not doing 20 years after I graduated basic training. I was
Yeah.
like, I don't know about this, man.
Where'd they station you?
20 years. I went to Fort Bliss, Texas, which is way out in the desert near Mexico. It's
Very
about
nice.
3,000 feet above sea level. It gets cold during the winter. It gets hot during the summer. And there's just like sand and mountains everywhere.
How
That's
far were
about
you
it.
from Wichita Falls, if you were familiar with that area? I went to
I have no idea.
Okay. That was where my base was when I was training.
I could tell you I was about 10 minutes from the border, though.
Which one? Southern?
Mexican border.
Okay. No, we
It
were
was very close to Mexico.
We were the other border. We were on above San Antonio, kind of on the border of whatever's that way.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah,
Texas.
like so there were certain parts of the base that would go high enough where you could see the other side and see Mexico. You could see
Wow.
Juarez over there. And I did not dare cross.
Yeah, especially in the military. Holy cow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A white guy with a shaved head over there.
You're just a breaming shiny target.
Yeah. So
Okay.
no thanks. Hard pass. But I got something out of it,
Of course.
and I did my time, honorable discharge, all that stuff. Witnessed a lot of people not get honorable discharge. That's a whole separate stream topic, though.
Oh my gosh, you Army guys, man.
Yeah. So I got out, and it was like the fall semester had already started, and I was like, oh well, I guess I'll just wait till next year. And that's when I started working at Lowe's.
Next year to what? Go to college?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And then I applied to a couple more places, and got denied.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, shit.
Damn, CTown.
All right, maybe one more year.
Yeah.
And then now we're rolling into what we touched about last time, about that lawnmower shop I was working at in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
So we're at that point in time now, and I'm gonna turn 23 that summer, and I'm like, man, I'm getting paid $12 an hour to work at this family-owned lawnmower shop. It was a dope job compared to Lowe's, but it's like there's no
at 23
level
though,
and there's no level of advancement here, and because it's a guy and his wife that runs the store with their mechanics, and that's it. So I was just like, man, after working here for like, I would say a few years, it's gonna start to get old, and then I'll be creeping up to 30, and it's like, what am I gonna do now? So I was like, okay, something needs to change. So that's when I found my school down south where I went to, and I have a couple cousins in town here that helped me recommend that and all that. So I applied, I got in, I moved in the summer of 2019. I packed my car to the brim. My car was doing this on the way down. It was like this.
Yeah.
And then my dad drove the pickup truck with the box trailer or whatever connected to it, and my motorcycle was in the back of the pickup truck. It was a whole
jeez, you were on a convoy.
Oh yeah, they wanted me to leave it there in
the motorcycle.
Yeah, and I was like,
way,
no,
yeah,
it's coming with me.
No way.
I'll ride it down if I have to.
For sure.
I didn't really want to do that though, but
I mean, your main commuter, I'm sure.
Yeah, exactly. And that's another thing we'll get to in a minute about bringing your bike to class and bringing your car to class, because there is a huge financial difference on that one.
Interesting.
So,
okay.
So now we get to my very first semester, fall 2019. I'm off to a great start. We're talking before COVID, guys. We're talking before the pandemic. No face masks.
It's a normal college student.
exactly no normal society, really.
Yep.
It's, you know,
Normal
and
world.
the atmosphere on campus was amazing.
People
I
probably
was a
still want to
freshman.
party and have fun.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, but since I was a freshman, I didn't know anybody. That's kind of when you start to,
Yep.
okay? And I was pretty much on track to do that.
Okay.
And then 2020 semester starts. We go to spring break and we never came back.
Oh my gosh. So spring break
Yep.
for you was, I don't know these,
Mid-March.
is March?
Yeah. I don't remember the exact dates, but it was literally right
And
when the
that
government
is when
announced.
we shut down.
Yeah.
Because Lindsay and I were going to go to Germany and do a whole EU trip in March. And yeah, that was right when it shut down. So you basically went from everything being normal college experience. You left on spring break. And for the entire rest of your school,
Yeah, pretty much up
whatever,
until this semester and last semester, yeah.
you did not return to the campus?
They tried to bring it back a little bit in 2021. There was a lot of restrictions and limitations. Pretty much half of campus was shut down, and everyone had to wear a face mask.
Yep.
To class, and if you didn't, they would just ask you to leave. So I didn't see anybody try to challenge that. Then I had to get tested once a week.
Whoa, at school?
COVID tested. Yeah, at school. They were not messing around at my place.
Wow.
So
see, that's the first I've heard. I've never heard
every
that.
single week after class, I had to go to the student health center, like whatever. And then, you know, there'd always be this big line because, you know, I have 30,000 people that go here. So everyone's got to get tested, right? Wow. And, you know, they would just do the, you know, the Q-tip thing, and that's it. And yeah, you have to do that once a week. And if you didn't, they would drop you.
Huh. No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow. No refund.
Tony, they were
do not pass
around.
go. No $200. Yep. Go fuck yourself, basically. And you were paying how much in tuition? I know the GI Bill was, but still, that's you paying.
Yeah.
Rough numbers, if you can. I'm amazed to see what people will pay for others to do to them.
I would say 10 plus.
A semester or the whole bill?
No, the whole bill, like for the whole year. I think. Wow. I think it depends because there's in-state tuition and then there's out of state.
And you would have been paying out of state,
I got
right?
in-state, obviously. Well, the first, no, because I used my cousin's address.
Okay, that's amazing. Good stuff. I love that.
Yep.
Okay. All right, I want to back it up a little bit. So you're at spring break.
Yes.
Is COVID even in your brain at all? Have you even heard of it when you leave?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, you know, when the spring 2020 semester starts, I remember my my English class, and, you know, I had a really nice professor, and she was more on the younger side, probably like mid-30s, and because most professors that I've had are like well into their 40s and 50s. So, and, you know, this one kind of was keeping up with current events and everything. And, you know, we were talking about the, you know, coronavirus and, you know, just all the initial reports about it. And I'm just sitting there in class saying, oh, look at the media just doing their thing again.
Yeah.
Just, you know, over exaggerating something halfway across the world. Who cares?
Yep.
Blah, blah, blah. And I'm just kind of sitting through the whole thing, and it's just whatever to me. And then, yeah, I guess it got worse and worse and worse up to the point where, it's the government straight up had to shut everybody down.
So then was there any changes at all to that college experience before spring break, or just kind of talks about it? Like, was there any change to how the college was running?
No, everything was absolutely normal and unaffected until spring break happened.
And then how were you notified that, hey, guess what? World's completely different?
Oh, just like our student email.
No kidding. Okay.
Yeah, they just sent out like a mass email on the student email thing.
Do you know the gist of what was in that email? Like, how did?
Man,
I'm so interested in how
the archives, but
how do you say?
I kind of don't want to touch my computer right now since we got this.
We're in a good place. It's okay. we'll get our facts later. But I guess the reason why I asked this question is so from a logistical standpoint, right? These people had made the decision that we are going to fundamentally change how we conduct schooling. We have to let you said 30,000 students. We have to let all 30,000 students know that the college experience that they have already paid for and committed to doing is not what they're getting, right? So, like, I would hope the way you deliver that message is filled with understanding for who you're fucking, right? Like just a lot of like, hey, this is terrible for you, but we're going to do everything we can to not make it terrible.
So I don't know if you knew this, but that turned into a national scam issue because when you take the college experience and people being charged, okay?
Yeah.
So when you sign up for an in-person class, you pay more than an online class.
Which would make sense.
People were paying in-person class money for online classes. They were being forced to do that.
That's insane, dude.
And this is like nationwide.
Yeah. That's insanity.
And I'm sure my school did it. I'm sure a lot of other schools did it too. So yeah, you're charging people like money for something they don't get, which is like super illegal.
Yeah. Well, and it's essentially as much as, so being the devil's advocate, give the schools the benefit of the doubt. Whatever. Global pandemic. Let's not actually listen to science as they, are now. But essentially, like you have a choice, colleges, and you chose the one that benefits you. You didn't choose the one that benefits the students. You chose the one that benefited you. So when you receive this email, or how were you 100% full-time student, like any online classes at all?
Absolutely, yes.
So when you
the
received
entire
this,
time I've been full-time, yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
When you saw that, like what was your first thought? Like I don't have to go to class anymore? Like what was the first thought?
It was, so I mean, before that I got that email from my school, everyone was already talking about, essential businesses are being shut down right now.
Jeez.
Supply chains all messed up, blah, blah, all this other stuff. What's it called?
All of it, dude. Like
people were
hospitals
being sent
are
home
overridden
from work. Yeah, hospitals overridden, all this craziness.
Governments were deciding who was essential and who wasn't.
I wasn't completely surprised that I got an email saying that, hey, classes are canceled and we're going to online from now on.
Okay.
Because
in that same email, it was
everything
canceled.
Else was happening.
Was it canceled and going online, or was there a phase?
The in-person was canceled.
Okay, but there was ever a point where you were like, "Is school coming back?" They said canceled and replaced. Like, was that all at the same time? Okay.
Yeah, cool. So like that Monday, like when spring break was over, we had online classes. Well,
wow, just Zoom calls.
We tried to have online classes.
What happened?
That's a whole nother mess.
No, let's hear it. What happened? That's what we're here for.
So I noticed. So remember how I said earlier that a lot of my professors were more of on the older side, and they've probably been teaching longer than I've been alive. Okay.
Yep.
So I could tell that like some of these guys have like never taught an online class before.
Yeah.
And when you try to coordinate that off of Zoom and they have no idea what they're doing.
Yeah.
And I mean, I had to take some really critical classes online. I had to take accounting. I had to take statistics. Jeez. I mean, you have to pass these classes to graduate college.
Yep.
Well, at least the program I picked,
And what was your degree for? Your plan?
Economics.
Economics. Okay. I knew that, but I want to make sure you did.
Yeah. So it's like, I was like, dude, how am I going to pass this class? This is awful. And I'm not saying that my school was completely immune to this, but there were reports of people, randos from outside of the classroom, breaking into Zoom meetings and trolling the class. All right. Yes, fantastic. It happened.
Oh my God.
It happened to me personally, but people did it. And happened. I'm sure it happened where I'm at. And
well, people are bored, stuck at home.
Yeah. And then people started getting really creative at home. I saw pretty strange things going on in the background on some of my classmates' cameras.
That's freaking so good. That's so fun. Because essentially 30,000 people turned into streamers.
Exactly.
That's nuts. So was there how did they facilitate that? Like, did the school, so say you didn't have a webcam, say you didn't have internet, say you XYZ purple. Like, was there any resources, systems in place to help students who maybe were too dumb to do it or didn't have the ability to?
I don't know exactly because I already had a computer. I had my laptop. It had a built-in webcam and all that. But the webcam was not a requirement unless it was a public speaking class, which I had to do online, and that was also awful. So I literally I had my laptop here on my desk, and I had to literally just sit down in my chair and give a speech to the webcam.
I love
Yeah,
speech class. That would be so lame to do that. All right. So
Yep.
chronologically speaking, spring break, you've been notified. It's that Monday, right? You're very first.
Yep.
How many classes did you have on a day?
That day,
how'd
2
that
to
work?
3
Okay.
usually.
And were they
Yeah.
just kind of like bing, bang, boom?
Oh yeah, so when I scheduled my classes, I always tried to keep them as close to each other as possible, so I could just get
Same.
them all out of the way.
Yep.
You know, some people I don't get why, but some people they have like a class like in the morning, and like 4 hours later they got one more, and it's like, dude, what are you doing? I mean, hey, they don't
They ain't
care, but
living.
it's
They
like
ain't living. I'll tell you that.
I just wanted to get mine out of the way.
Yeah.
Like, you
Was it
know,
hard to
at
adjust?
the most, it was.
Yeah.
At the most, I think the biggest gap I had was like an hour at the most between a class.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, in my opinion, pretty excessive. But
Yeah.
it's hard to it's really hard to like match up a schedule
Mm-hmm.
of classes and get them all back to back with each other. So
Yeah.
I think I did all right. But yeah, the adjustment.
Tell me
from
about the
going.
typical class in, because you know,
Yeah,
talk to the people who never went to college and have never done an online class, and like what it meant to do this as like basically exclusively now. When you went in with hoping for a college experience, do you feel like you got a college experience or you just got a degree?
absolutely not.
So you just got
No,
a degree, right?
I got a piece of paper. Yeah.
Yep.
I did not get the fully fledged experience everybody else in my family got, and many others. I'm sure are watching right now.
Yeah.
I definitely feel cheated.
How do you compare your military to your college experience? Just, and I'm speaking specifically to that dorm life, right? Like, you know, kind of the training before you start your job, like kind of that college life, right? Like,
Yeah.
how did that compare to your college? Like,
It was a different world, though. That was
It
also
was,
before
man.
COVID as well.
yeah, that's so true.
And
That's so true.
I was a different person back then. I was always on edge. I was
'cause
always
you're
trying to
not now.
avoid. No, I was. Believe me, it's nothing compared to back then. I was always trying to avoid getting in trouble. I was trying to just stay out of the way,
Gotcha.
just blend in the group and everything, because it was so easy to
Mhm.
get in trouble for the stupidest thing. And
Especially
sometimes
now.
it's unavoidable. Sometimes they will literally set you up, and it's so obvious they're doing it. And it's
Yeah.
like, well, you're a private, and this guy's a sergeant that's been in the army for 10 years. They ain't nothing you can do about it.
You
So
lose.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
So the dorm
yeah.
experience then, because you were in the dorms in the military, and then what you did training. I guess if I'm comparing it to mine, did you go basic training, first base where you did your job? Is that a similar path that you took?
Yeah, I had basic training and went straight to my duty station.
Oh, there's no school in the middle?
No, because I did the infantry. So
Oh, well, there you go. Never mind.
Yeah,
Never
what they
mind.
do is they kind of add a couple more weeks on your basic training.
Yeah.
So mine was like 3.5 months.
Yeah.
And
It's the
then
don't
you
run
know,
with
right,
scissors portion. That takes
yeah,
so
and
long.
then right when I graduated, we're literally getting on the bus to the airport to go to our duty station. So
Wow. Okay.
yeah,
All right.
so yeah, I just
Okay.
went straight there.
Man, I want to get some more out of this college because essentially we made it to spring break happening, and now we're at the end of your college. I need to
Yeah.
know, was there, I don't need to know. What I want to know is, one, was outside of getting a degree, was there any point that you were like, why am I still doing this?
Oh,
Right?
absolutely. Yeah, I was very close to dropping out
Really?
after the spring semester in 2020 ended. Yeah.
What was the main
So
reason?
the main
For-
reason was just the despairment
Yeah.
from the experience. Really, that I just didn't want to do that. That's not what I signed up for. Like, part of me wanted to drop out, wait this out, which
Mhm.
ended up would have having to wait 3 years
That's
because now I think it's
insanity.
I think it's safe to say in 2023 I think things are under control now,
Yeah.
and things are, especially this last semester, it's felt the most normal since
I
then.
bet.
So yeah, I would have had to wait 3 years
Yeah.
to start up again, and
And then you'd
like
be what,
I would have
26?
I'd be 27
Shoo, a
as
freshman.
a sophomore.
Oh, a
So I'd
sophomore,
be
yeah.
graduating when I'm almost 30.
Wow.
So no.
Yeah.
And I already felt
Way
the
to
age
stick
gap
through it. Yeah.
creep up
Yeah.
this past year. So yeah, I was very close to dropping out. The year of 2020 obviously was not the best for me or anyone else.
Mhm. Mhm.
Let's see. What else happened?
'Cause in
My grandmother passed.
2021. Oh, sorry.
What's that?
That was a hell of a
Yeah,
time to
my
interrupt you.
grandmother my grandmother passed away in 2020, right before finals happened.
Damn.
And, that was online. So it was not a good time for me to be in college and just be, doing all that. So summer, I kind of rode my bike around and just chilled. I wasn't working in the summer 2020 because like everything was shut down. I couldn't get a job.
Yeah.
And I had some money saved away as long as I was careful enough, and then we were coming up to the 2020 fall semester, and it was still online. And I'm like, okay, I just turned 24. I'm gonna be a sophomore now. And I was just praying it was just gonna get better after the year was up. And when January 2021 hit around, I was just praying it was gonna get better.
It being college.
Yeah.
But at 2021, were you still doing online learning?
So
you signed
the
back
2020
up.
fall semester,
still the
we're
same.
still online. A typical online class was, okay, here's the start time, here's the Zoom link. It's all in the email. Email me if you have technical difficulties, which I'm sure these professors probably got hundreds of emails saying that.
Not a single answer.
Yeah, exactly. So it was definitely a cluster the first year. I think not just the professors, but the students had to learn too. I had to figure some stuff out myself. I never used Zoom before either, but it took me about a day, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is how it works. But
push some buttons.
Some of these guys took them about a year, and they figured it out finally. So so that was an adjustment, and by 2021, we were still having online classes, but they were talking about the fall semester of that year to bring back the in-person with some restrictions.
Interesting. Okay.
But nothing was set in stone yet. This is going back to like, just rumors, exactly. So like a typical day. So here's the start date or start time. Here's the link to join. You show up 5 minutes or so early or whatever, and just sit in the room there. Professor turns their microphone and camera on. Okay, class, here's what we're gonna do. Blah blah blah. And then you got all these people asking like the stupidest things in the chat because there's a text chat thing.
Yep, you don't have to raise your hand. It's like, oh my god.
And the professor doesn't even see the messages until like it's too late because they're just flying through the lecture. I'm like, oh my god, dude, it was a mess.
Because think about the dynamic of a school classroom, right? Like, if you have a stupid question, you have the societal pressure of like, I have to say this in front of everybody, and I got to raise my hand, drawing more attention to myself. And just think about how many people keep all those stupid questions to themselves simply because of the societal pressure of being in public. But now that's gone. They're in their own little bubble. It's just me and the professor, right? They only see like, now I'm getting tutor. I have a tutor now. They no longer adhere to those classroom etiquette laws.
Exactly.
Is that true? Would you feel that happened?
I would. I wouldn't say that personally affected me because I'm not asking a stupid question.
Well,
I'm not doing that, bro. Besides, the fact that you're doing it on a Zoom call, like that's recorded. Like I don't want that documented. Okay,
forever.
I don't need that.
It's forever. It's a stupid badge that they slap on their chest. Damn. Okay. Interesting. So 2021 spring still online. So summer break 100%. Comes. 2021.
Summer break comes.
Yeah.
Yep. And I'm like, man, they might bring it back to person.
Yeah.
And maybe things will get better. And at that point, okay, I'm gonna turn 25, and I'm halfway through it. I'm almost, I'm getting there now. Okay. Yep. I think the worst part's behind us. Like I just kept having this positivity to it, and I was like, I've just come too far to stop now at this point. Like I'm halfway through. There's no point of dropping out now. Like,
well, exactly. You're this committed.
Yep.
So did you go back in the fall?
We did.
To class.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we did, but there were some heavy restrictions on that. Like I said earlier.
Yeah. Did
this
you have
is
to get the
also
Pope?
the time. No.
Okay.
This is also the time when I'm declaring as myself a junior on my academic profile, whatever. So my advisor contacts me and says, "Hey, you need to pick a major. You got to declare a major." Because I didn't do that my freshman or sophomore year because I once again did not know what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I thought I would figure it out. By the time it was and then COVID happened, and then all I know is that I did not want to do accounting. That's all I know. I
Okay.
am not passionate about accounting.
So what made you do economics?
So my freshman year before COVID, so fall 2019, I took the principles of, microeconomics or whatever, just the one that everyone has to take in the business
I
school.
remember that one.
And I had a absolute Chad professor teaching it. And it was a great class. I learned a lot. I learned a lot about like life and society and why things happen.
Interesting. Yeah.
And it changed my entire mentality about like all the hot takes in the political world. Like minimum wage, nope, get rid of it. It goes against the economic standard.
It's amazing when you learn about
Yep.
what a government program typically does to the economy.
Yep. The intention is good, but the outcome is not.
Yep. The intention is always, I don't feel any of these guys are like, this'll fuck them. Like they just, they don't apply it to the logics of reality. And a lot of times they don't hold up. And guess who?
Yep. So I learned all kinds of stuff like that. And I'm like, oh my God, that explains so much that's happened like in the last 20 years or so,
The cultural change.
So, yeah. And then, I actually learned a lot about stuff like that too in like my history classes. Like I had a history class my freshman year. I'll never forget this guy either. This guy was like an older guy, but he was like one of those older guy professors that were he was probably on his way to retirement in a few years and he just didn't care. And as long as you showed up and just did your work, you're getting an A, He's one of those.
That's amazing.
And he said this one thing that's always going to stick with me. And he goes, Americans are spoiled and they live in a happy damn world. And I'm like, wow.
Yep.
And this
is
is like
unbelievably
an
accurate
old Southern
statement.
dude.
That's so, because think about how true that is. What are our problems here? Each other. If that's your only problem in a country is the other people in it, your country's doing pretty good.
Yep.
It's nuts, man. We were watching this, speaking of economics, we were watching this moron describe how her mom graduated college at $36,000, which by today's money is $190,000, and that's why she deserves a job that pays $190,000. Dude, the math was so bad. It was so
what kind
broken.
of logic is that?
Horrible
he wants to
logic.
Adjust inflation from back then?
No, they did.
Yikes.
But they use like a 1-to-1 inflation ratio.
Yeah, why do you want people to get paid based on inflation rate back then? That's
You shouldn't, right? But that's the logic, right? They think because they went to college and they can like articulate these facts and statistics, they're right.
Oh, that's another thing I learned when I took statistics and econometrics, which is like
all bullshit.
So you can manipulate any point you're trying to validate with statistics. As long as you get the right type of data and you formulate it out right, it'll match up any agenda you're trying to push, which is crazy.
That is exactly that is the only thing I learned from my statistics class.
Yeah.
Because the math was
crazy.
whatever. I have calculators, but my teacher, he proved beyond a shadow of doubt. He's like, hey, look at me prove this political point for both sides using the exact same lot or data sets or whatever. And he did. I was like, I knew it was all bullshit. And dude, from that moment, I was like, any statistic. I'm like, what's the data set? Oh, 200 person online poll apparently represents all of America. Americans polled, and then you look at the bottom, it's like 3 college students polled, but that's where they pull their shit from, man. It's crazy. It's nuts.
Indeed.
So we're back in school. Go ahead. Go.
We're back in school.
We're back in school. Full time, or is it like a mix?
It's sort of a mix. So some professors actually still refused to offer in-person classes. They were given the option. So I only had like a couple classes a week that would meet in person, and the rest was like a transitional phase, really.
Yeah.
But if you did have a class on campus, you have to wear a face mask at all times.
Just yellow suit. Biohazard suit.
Might as well. Yeah, hazmat. Yeah. And part of that problem was, okay, you can't understand what the professor's saying. He can't understand what you're saying when you ask a question. And like the amount of like socialness you lose when it's like this, it's like no one's talking to each other, no one's socializing. There's nothing. So it really came into the the behavior of people just showing up for class, and as soon as class is over, everyone just dips the fuck out, and the campus is a ghost town again.
No one's standing and talking. There's no one in the quad
Yeah, no one's
playing
sticking
hacky
around.
sack.
No one's socializing. Nothing. Yeah, and I'm like, dude,
man.
this is not that much better. Like, this is stupid. I should have just done all the online classes.
It's almost like going to
At least I
kindergarten.
could sleep in a little.
Right? Like, it's just like, no, I'll put them in this building for a couple hours, and then they'll just go home and be somebody else's problem.
Right.
That's such a shame. So was it very cold? Like, was it just nobody's doing anything at all together? And what's even the point? Because was the knowledge... Sorry, go ahead.
What's that?
I was just going to ask, like, was the lecture... Yeah, that's okay. We're fine. I'm doing it. Were the lectures the same, better, or worse, would you say?
Oh, it worse. Way worse.
Way worse, yeah. Why? What was the main reason they were worse?
So besides the fact you couldn't understand the professor, I think a lot of them also got used to just like not having to try as hard because like half the classroom's empty.
Yep. No, like probably way less questions.
Yes, because so the student attendance rate was heavily down. And enrollment was down too. I think a lot of people thought the same thing I was thinking. Oh, I'm just gonna drop out, and they probably did. I didn't, but they probably did. And I think part of the other issue is the professors, the ones that were like doing the online only classes, they also got used to just not having to drive to campus to teach a couple classes a day and get their nice big old salary still, and
now it's even
all
easier.
that other stuff. Yeah. So there was a lot of disparity going on in the campus environment, and there was very limited operations. There was like, besides like classrooms in session, there was like really nothing else going on campus.
They didn't do anything for like morale? Man.
Not really.
Really?
Yeah.
I just thought, I always pictured campuses as, like I said, big daycares. I don't mean that in this time to make fun of anybody, but when I say daycares, I mean like the whole reason it's so expensive nowadays is because of the extra stuff, right? Like all of the gymnasiums that get built, the events that get planned and organized, and all of the fluff that has nothing to do with learning is why colleges nowadays cost so much money. So like, how does a college truly justify offering a quarter of what they were offering before for the exact same price? Like, just from a business standpoint, how do you get away with that?
I don't know how they managed to pull it off, but like what they did is like straight up like black and white illegal, really.
Yeah.
I mean, because
like that's false.
I don't. Yeah.
It's like getting 3 tires when you paid for 4.
I don't know how long it lasted, but it was definitely a hot take between the years of 2020 and 21.
I bet, man.
All the shady, tuition rates. Like, okay, I'm paying this much, but am I really fully in person here, or there's and I'm sure they were trying to keep it as vague as possible too, just to get the money. So it's like, wow. And I'll tell you something right now, my school, it's a D1 state school, and a lot of people go after like the private schools, for gouging their students and whatnot.
It's a private.
Well, the state schools do it too. I mean, they're just state funded as well. They're just a little more subsidized. That's all. Yeah. Like I have about 4 different T-shirts that I got for nothing, just for being at the right place at the right time on campus. And they're using everyone's tuition money and tax money to give those out. And they don't have enough for everyone. It's just whatever they have in the box.
It's crazy.
So yeah.
No other institution, man, could do that.
Yep.
It's crazy.
I know. And we actually, so I took a managerial econ class, which was one of the hardest classes I've ever taken in my life.
Really?
But I had to take it to get my my degree. There's certain what's that?
What was the hard part?
The hard part was just the math behind it. So the other issue besides, all the COVID restrictions, getting tested once a week and face masks and all that stuff. When my junior year started, I had to start taking some more advanced econ courses per my major. And I walk into the room, first day of class, professor, some mellow guy, gets up on the board, writes this giant equation of all these letters and symbols and all this other stuff.
Oh,
and I'm like, what is this? This is not this. I didn't sign up for this. This is calculus.
Yeah, for real.
And come to find out, econ is heavily, heavily involved in calculus.
Mm-hmm. The
And
logic makes sense.
no one bothered to tell me
No.
that.
Where was your advisor at? At home behind a mask?
Probably.
Yeah.
I've met her like once.
Yeah.
So
So did you,
yeah.
and you finished, right? Like you, at any point,
Oh,
did you
absolutely.
consider changing degrees?
Yes. So I actually talked with her about that. That's one of the very few times I met her. And
Okay.
here's what she told me.
Oh, God. It
Yeah.
wasn't worth it.
Here's what she told me. She said, "Well, you can, but you'll have to take another semester to catch back up." And I go, "Oh, well, fuck that. No."
Yeah.
Because I was already a junior, so I'd already taken courses that aren't required for another major. So it would, they wouldn't count towards anything,
Gotcha.
So I was kind of stuck at that point.
Were you, at this point, were you more about getting done or getting something out of it still?
Oh, at that point, I was just like, you know what? I just want the fancy piece of paper at this point.
Really?
I've already
Man.
wasted so much of my time.
You had 2 years left?
Roughly, yeah.
Wow. So what was, okay,
I was
so
like,
now
"Dude,
you,
just give me my degree and let me get out of here." Like,
so now we dipped your toe in 2021 fall. We dipped your toe back into going back to school, super restrictive. Now the fall semester, was that pretty just consistent? And then is it a winter break after the fall semester?
Yep.
When do you,
Yep.
okay, and then so when's the next big change in your college like experience, right? When did college either lighten up or do something? When did it get a little bit closer back to normal? What was the next change towards the positive?
This past fall semester is when I noticed the
Oh, wow.
first major difference. Yeah. So spring 2022, that was
Mhm.
roughly the same.
As fall
There
of
were a
21?
little, yeah.
Yeah.
I will say it was a little more in person. There were more classes being offered in person, so
Okay.
it was less online for me. But it was still really no different than the previous semester. Half my classes were online, the other half weren't.
Mhm.
Um,
How was the culture?
and I'm still wearing.
Any
It was
one
still
more
about the
lively?
same.
Really? About the stamp.
Yeah,
So that's
and
2
I still.
years after COVID started. So we're back in March of 2022. So
Yep.
for 2 years, culture paused. That's nuts.
Yes. And then at the end of that semester, they lifted the face mask requirement, and
Okay.
that was the happiest. That was one of the happiest days of my life in the last 2 years. So I didn't get to enjoy it for that much at that semester because it was almost over. It was like the end of
Mhm.
April,
Wow.
but they lifted it and said, hey, you know, the uh, positive test rate or whatever is way down
Yep.
now. Because there were people in the dorms getting COVID, so
Yep.
that's why they were so serious about it,
Mm.
So, I guess they made a decision where it's like, hey, no more face mask required, but still follow social distance guidelines
Yeah.
and all this. And you know what I noticed actually, Marcus, I forgot to mention this is that when people came to class, everyone just kind of naturally sat at least like one seat away from each other.
Interesting.
You know,
Yeah.
That wasn't a requirement. Everyone just kind of did that naturally. And I just thought
Interesting.
that was interesting.
That's
Yeah.
very interesting. Because remember, very beginning, we talked about cogs in the machine, right? Like it's the impulsive, it's the rules that don't exist and yet are somehow enforced by culture, right? Like, so
Yep.
just because the narrative of social distance and et cetera, even though all of the reasons that they initially used to try to justify doing it were gone, the behavior of the people still reflected it. Isn't that interesting? That's freaking crazy, man. So
Yep.
people back in class, even though masks are gone, you still have a general feel of social distancing that is just naturally occurring.
Yeah. And like I said, the campus climate and culture, I didn't have any like really good friends at this point. I recognize a couple of faces, and I'm seeing people for the first time with their face mask. And I'm like, oh hey, nice to see your face. It's like,
Wow.
yeah.
So in class, like, was there parties? Like, did you get to go to college parties and hang out in garages and like all of that stuff, man?
Nope. I went out downtown
To the bars.
soloing and at the bars. Yeah, that's
so
kind of how I got into the
different.
habit of doing that. Yeah.
That is so different. And now, I
Yep.
mean, I mean this with so much love. Are you sure you just weren't invited? or were the was just no one hanging out?
No,
Was there truly no
I
friendships?
didn't know who to ask about a party. I didn't just want to walk up to some
Yeah.
random ass person in class like, hey, when's the party? You know, like,
yeah, where's the party, bro? No, but
yeah,
I
like
feel
I wasn't trying to
ya.
be that guy, you know. So
Interesting.
I never really clicked with anyone because of this, I think, and that's why I never like got inducted into like a friend group,
Yeah, yeah.
which I think that's another fantasy thing that I came to realize where, you know, we're not in high school anymore and we're all
Yeah.
adults here. And, you know, I mean, yeah, sure. I'm sure there's still cliques because there's plenty of people I'm sure that went to high school together that are also going there
Mhm.
right now together. And they're probably roommates or whatever. So they're, you know, that's still probably a thing, but it wasn't for me.
But what are they doing
So
though? Because that's like when I was younger,
I don't
you know,
know.
how like I said, house parties, right? College parties. Even though I didn't go to college, my friends did. So I went with them to the parties, you know, and
Yep.
that socialization. Like Lindsay, she was huge into college. She had a wonderful college experience. And it's just if this was her experience, I can guarantee you, man, she would have nothing positive to say about it at all.
Yep. I think the main problem is just I just didn't know anyone to
Yeah.
get that far, you
And
know?
there was no
Um,
socializing allowed. So how do you even
yeah.
go start to make friends and meet new
Yep.
people?
I had some people, you know, stop me in the hallway or like out on the crosswalk or something because they see me carry my motorcycle helmet.
Yeah.
So let's get to the whole parking dynamics here at this place, okay?
All right, tell me
So
about the parking.
so it is as a commuter, as a non-resident student, it is $480 to park your car there a year. That is absolutely ridiculous.
What? That's more than
Yeah.
what? Oh, I was gonna say that's more than a
And
dollar a
they got
day.
like multi-level parking
Yeah,
garages. They got thousands of spots there on this place, you know?
free money.
I've never seen every single parking garage full at once. Never. There's
That is
always plenty of
a
spots.
crock. That's a
Yep.
crock of shit. Because ultimately,
Well,
if you don't get the parking pass, you get a ticket, right?
yeah, because there's cameras everywhere that scans your thing when your license plate when you go in there.
Wow.
And then if you just take your plate off, they're gonna find out eventually and tow
They
your shit, you
will.
know? Like there's no way around it.
Wow. Okay.
But so they have dedicated motorcycle spots, Marcus,
Okay. I
on
like that.
campus.
I like
So you
that.
can't park there unless it's a motorcycle. It's a little, you know, miniature
Yeah.
thing, right?
Yeah.
Guess how much that is a year?
50 cents.
100.
Oh, a year. I was thinking a day.
Yeah.
$100 a year. Oh, that's the way to go.
Oh,
You would
yeah.
make up your money just by buying a bike and parking there.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wow. Well, hey, at least you had that going for you.
Yep. And for anyone that's wondering, for inclement weather such as rain and or extreme cold,
Yeah.
I parked my car across the street at the grocery store and marched my ass to campus like a Chad.
Because then you wouldn't have to pay the parking because you're willing to walk.
Yep.
I love it, man. Do a little sacrifice to not have to get gouged. Because
Yep.
that's all that
Saved me
is.
hundreds of dollars.
Well, exactly. Because they
Mhm.
try to justify, well, we have to do maintenance. And, well, how come Walmart doesn't have us pay to park there? All these
Yeah,
people have
exactly.
to do maintenance.
Yeah.
You just figured out a way to screw over students.
That logic, literally every single business with a parking lot should charge their customers, right?
Yeah,
Like,
but you know why they
you know how
don't?
stupid that would be?
Because they
Because they
can't.
know it's stupid. Yeah, because
they
they know it's
can't. Nobody
Yeah.
would go to Walmart. I don't care. I don't care.
Exactly.
Nobody would go to Walmart. That
I'd take the
parking
bus
lot
to Walmart.
would be
Fuck it.
devoid of cars if
Yeah.
you had to pay to park there.
Yep.
Man, it's nuts. All right, so we're in
Mhm.
2020, fall of 21, right? And now we're going into spring of 22, which we did.
Mhm.
Did you say fall of 22 is when it got normal,
Well,
or spring
we're,
of?
we're still in spring 22. So this
What?
situation happened to me.
Okay,
That I think we need to disclose here
Let's
because this
go.
is part of my college experience.
I love it. I
okay?
want to hear it.
I think I told you this story. I think I definitely told my chat this story,
All
but
right,
if you remember, just let me know.
Hey,
But this
I want
is
to hear
this is probably the craziest female I have ever met in my life on a college campus. Okay,
it.
so
I love it.
I'm going to class. It's a regular old day, nothing major happened in class, and it's a nice day out. It's, you know, spring 2022. I brought my motorcycle to class, go to my classes. Okay, everything's done. Came home, right? So I'm walking back to the parking garage, and the big, massive crowd of students that's also walking back to the parking garage.
Mhm.
Okay, and I see this girl up, further up in the crowd. It looks like she's carrying a motorcycle helmet.
Hey.
with her, and I was like, rock brow, like the Rock Johnson eyebrow raise, like you never seen that before?
Yeah, bud. He got it for
Oh,
me.
okay, well,
Okay.
anyways, so
Do
I
you
do
smell
that.
what The Rock is cooking? I grew up on WWF. Who do you think you're talking to? I remember him when he grew his first pube. He was so young when he joined the.
Yeah.
Anyway, go on.
I've seen older videos of him. He's he's
Sure.
changed.
Yeah. Anybody who thinks The Rock isn't on steroids right now didn't know him when he was a wrestler. Okay, so hey, just letting you guys know.
He's injecting those things, dude.
When he was into
All right.
Poontang Pie, trust me, it was a
man.
different Rock. Everyone he thinks he's this like big liberal. He's just anyway. Go on.
Yeah.
All right.
So, anyways, I'm like, okay, I need to investigate this. So, well,
I must
professionally investigate this.
Yeah, shoot your
Okay.
shot.
So I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna keep walking to the parking garage and see if it's a helmet and see if she's gonna walk over by the bikes. And she did.
What?
And I was like, oh shit.
Time to shoot your shot.
And I'll tell you guys right now, okay? It is not that common to see a young, attractive female that owns a motorcycle.
It's true.
That you don't get that, okay? If
You're
any
learning
female's
why.
gonna own a motorcycle, it's some older lady that has a Harley because she got sick of riding bitch
Yeah.
on her husband's bike.
Yeah.
All right, that's
or her
literally
husband
it.
died and now she's just lonely.
Exactly.
Keep
that
your
too,
eyes peeled,
yeah.
boys. I'm just.
Yep,
They're nice. They're really
90%
nice.
of every single motorcycle rider I've met has been another dude like me. So
That's amazing.
I was like, there's no fucking way.
Yeah.
Right. So she gets over to her bike and she's got like some, rundown Ninja 300. It was definitely her first one.
Okay.
And I'm over here. Everyone knows what mine looks like. I'm over here with my badass, all blacked out Rebel
Black
500
Steel,
and everything.
baby.
Yes.
Rebel.
Yep.
Go. You're good. Go.
So she's just like putting her gear on and everything,
Mhm.
and I'm like,
Where
like,
are you standing and what dark corner are you in right now staring at her?
no, we're in the motorcycle spot.
Okay. All right. Good.
Yeah. So, I'm next to my bike and she's next to hers and she's just putting her gear on and all that stuff. And I'm like, all right, I'll just put mine on. But then like, I'm purposely trying to like, not check her out, but like check her bike out, but just like make it obvious that I'm looking in that direction to her.
You
You know how you get that
birds.
sense when like there's someone looking at you?
Yeah. I bet women get
know?
it all the time.
Yeah.
Why didn't you
Well,
say
she had, like,
something?
she had this weird like brake disc lock thing on
that's
hers
cool.
or whatever.
Yeah,
I never
for
saw
security,
like that.
so people can't steal
Yeah.
bikes.
I can lock my my steering column in place with my key. But
Yeah,
she
and
doesn't
I
have
can
that, I guess.
pick up your bike and drag it with a locked
Well,
steering
if you
column.
don't have the key, you're gonna be going in circles, I guess.
No,
'cause
that's you pick it up. That's how you steal them.
Yeah, then when you hotwire, how you gonna use it?
CTown, it's a pin this big for your steering column. You go.
Well, you're gonna take a no. You gotta take like a angle grinder and like cut into my steering column.
No, you
to fix
take
that.
out the key. And we'll talk about stealing bikes later, but it's a lot easier to think. That's why the disc brake is nice because you have to physically pick up the entire bike, not just the front. That's why. Yeah, because all you got to do to steal a motorcycle is put it in neutral and lift the front tire off the ground.
Well, right, yeah.
Yeah. So, but if you have a disc lock brake, you have to pick up the entire 500, 700-pound motorcycle. That's why.
I guess if they want it either way, they're gonna get it, right?
Yeah. But you weren't
so-
stealing it. But what an entry. Hey, what's that
Yeah.
disc brake? Or what is that?
So
right?
yeah, so she like caught me, and
Okay.
she like turned around
Mission
and,
accomplished.
just kind of like started smiling. I'm like, oh hey, hi, sorry, I was just kind of checking out your
That's my
your
boy.
break thing there,
Well
or whatever,
done.
right?
Yep.
Yeah, like I had that all planned out. I was like, okay, that's how we're gonna start this.
Well
and
done.
I was in. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So I was talking to her for a few minutes, introduced myself. Oh, hey, hi, my name is CTown, and hi, I forgot her name. And we just started talking. It doesn't matter. I don't even want to know her name anymore, but it doesn't matter. So we just started talking for a few minutes, and we were saying, oh, hey, well, what's your major? Blah blah blah. And we were both juniors, and everything. And I was just like, hey, maybe we should like go out for a ride sometime or something. And she was like, oh yeah, that sounds great. Here, let me give you my number.
Way
I'm like,
to
okay,
go.
yeah, great, awesome, right?
Perfect.
And I was like, dude, I am in.
I'm so
all
proud
right?
of you.
Yes. So I gave her a text message just to confirm it was me. Nothing major, right?
Mhm.
Like, oh, hey, it's CTown. Okay,
Yeah.
great. And we had a great conversation. We introduced ourselves to each other and got to know each other. And we
All through text at this point, right?
speculated. We speculated a potential ride in the near future, right?
Right on.
Yep.
A lot of good ones.
So, About a week goes by and I don't see her on campus. I don't see the motorcycle parked anywhere or anything. And there were plenty of nice days out to bring it. So I'm like,
Yeah,
that's
weird.
kind of weird.
Mm.
Okay. And then I gave her a text saying, hey, how does this weekend look for you for a ride? Didn't get a response.
Oh boy.
And I'm like,
Mexican cartel got her.
okay, something's a little off here. She was really interested the other day, and now I don't see her, and now she doesn't respond. I thought something happened.
Yeah.
I was obviously wrong. So after 2 weeks goes by, so now we're talking 2 weeks total from the first initial day I met her.
Mm-hmm.
I finally see it on campus again when I go to class
The
in
bike.
the morning. Yes. So, okay, well, she didn't vanish off the face of the earth. She still exists. She wasn't a figment of my imagination.
Yeah,
either. I'm
yeah.
not crazy,
In the fever dream.
Exactly. So I'm like, okay, so she's here. Great. So I went to my classes and, the whole day, came back and it was still there. And I'm like, oh, I'll just wait a few minutes for her, just say hi to her real quick after class, right?
Yeah.
Now, anything wrong with that? Because
No.
I'm waiting to say hi to someone in a lit parking garage in the middle of the day on a college campus where I also go to college.
Well, and you've met him before.
All of this sounds normal, right?
You've met him before.
Yes.
So that's
yes.
even more normal. So
Yes.
I'm on Go Team CTown. Keep going. When's it get creepy?
Because
Is what I
some
want to
people I've told the story to
No,
are
man.
not,
That's because they're probably lonely. They've never had to court anybody. They've never had to date. Dating is one of the most fun things you can do with your partner. Hold on, give me a sec. I gotta fucking rant for a second. I'm serious, man. It drives me. The new modern way of dating pisses me off so much. It's so contractual. Like you can't flirt with somebody. You can't wait for them, right? If you know where they work, if you go to their work and try to talk, you're like a creep. That is nonsense. You're only a creep if you're walking in with your dick out. Like talking to somebody, showing somebody affection, showing somebody attention is called humanity. We need, like, CTown is a good-looking dude. He has no reason to think that unless he has murderous rampage in his brain, that when he talks to this girl, he's just going to kill her. That is a nonsensical way of thinking. So the fact that CTown had her number, already talked to her before, and wasn't going to murder her, he had no reason to think that anything that he was going to do by waiting for her by her bike was going to cause any sort of harm or that is a ridiculous mindset. If I didn't court that beautiful woman right here, she would never be my wife. Okay? If you're interested in somebody, don't just assume that anybody who's interested in you is a bad person. So go on.
Well, I can tell you, Marcus, this girl right here is definitely not going to be my wife. That's for sure. We'll go over that in a minute here. So.
Yeah. So you're waiting for her in the dark. Yep. No, you're waiting for her in a parking lot in hopes of talking. I get it. Go.
Right. Yeah. So she comes back after her classes and she's with some friend. And just for the record, I was waiting by my bike. Female friend.
Okay, gotcha.
So just for the record, I was waiting by my bike and not hers. But it was in the same parking area.
Technicalities
so
are for politicians.
I'm just kind of sitting on it and just kind of on my phone, just whatever, and let them finish their thing up or whatever, right? And then she walks over and I'm like, oh hey, how's it going? And she was just she didn't really seem like she was in a great mood. So I don't know if she was having a bad day or something happened recently or whatever, but she just didn't seem pleased to be talking to me for whatever reason. And I was just like, so hey, when do you think is a good time to go out for a ride? Are you doing anything this weekend? And she was just like, I don't know, man. I got homework. I got my job, giving me all these dumb excuses. And I'm like, oh,
everything but the truth.
All the red flags.
Yep.
All of them. Yep. So I'm like, well, shit. So I'm like, oh, really? Are you sure? I mean, it's gonna be really nice this weekend.
Yeah.
I tried one last shot and everything. And then she was like, okay. And I was like, all right, well, I guess I'll see you later. Bye. And then, we left. And then that was a Monday. So, I do my Moto Mondays, right?
Yep.
So after that, I went and did my Moto Monday. Great stream. And usually when I do a Moto Monday, there's always a bunch of notifications on my phone. Just because, I haven't been, I've been streaming for like 2+ hours.
Oh,
so
Roger.
Yep.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I just haven't been on
at
my
the end of
phone
the stream.
Yeah, at the end, yes.
Roger.
So after I ended stream, I have like an essay-length text message from this lady,
Oh Lord,
from
have mercy.
this female, and she wrote me an essay, and she's
Okay.
all pissed off at me that I waited in the parking lot to say hi to her.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
You know what she said?
Oh,
She said that her friend, the one that she was with that day, took note of what time I parked my shit there and speculated how long I waited there for. I was like, "What?" I was like, "You're having your
Why?
friends keep tabs on me? What the fuck, dude?"
Just talk to me. Use your words. That is nuts, man. That is insanity. That is the power of bad assumptions, is what that is. Because,
yeah, she thought I was definitely trying to hurt her or something. Like, I don't understand it. It's like, what did I do to you?
I got to ask a question, just because I remember being young. So when you guys were texting, at any point, you can plead the fifth here, but at any point, did it become more than casual conversation and implied any sort of sexual or innuendos?
Oh, no.
And I'm not here to judge.
Like, the conversation.
Okay,
no,
so just normal chit chatting. All right.
No, not even that. No. Here's the only messages I ever sent her was the one that day I met her to confirm it was me.
Yep.
And then asking about the ride, and then that's it. I got nothing from her.
Oh.
Via text. Yeah.
Crazy.
So
why'd she give you her number?
That's what I'm saying. So she drops her number, she disappears for 2 weeks, and then gets mad when I say hi to her for the first time in 2 weeks.
That's weird.
Yeah.
And then sends you an essay. So, like, was she accusing you or just saying, was it really long-winded way of saying, please leave me alone?
Pretty much.
Man. Because God forbid she just, when you saw her that day, just was like, hey, not really interested.
And it's like when, you talk about courting and everything. Well, if everyone has that mentality, what am I supposed to do?
Exactly, man.
Like, well, you can't win that way. It's not...
Because it's how do you change a behavior that is based in good? Because like you wanting to court, you wanting to create a relationship, possibly date, like none of that can happen at all unless something is done to generate interest among the people. So like through all of humanity, we have discovered different ways of courting each other. And for all the young people in here, courting means earning the affection. That's the simplest way I can say it. It means that CTown comes up with a joke. CTown has the balls to talk to her and try to find a connection. Hey, we both like bikes. If that doesn't happen because none of us feel that we can talk to each other, like CTown said, what's he supposed to do? What are the options if you're already leading with being a good dude? What the hell do you do if you don't want to be a jerk? Because I think it's more disrespectful to treat a relationship like a contract. I think that is treating somebody inhuman. If CTown goes up and it's just like, hey, here's this form. I just want to, in my top, here's the paragraph as to why I'm interested.
Sign an initial here.
Here's my apology for showing interest. Yep. It's like peacocking for the pathetic, right? It's like if instead of a peacock being big and like, I don't know if you've ever seen a peacock, but they're like, ah! Like, dude, peacocks are one of the most aggressive. Ah! That's how they court. They get in front of their face and the peacocks go everywhere. But like, it's absolutely asinine, man. I could go on this for a long time because I'm a classic romantic. I believe in dates. I believe in flowers. I believe in opening doors. I believe in just that classic old school treat women well, but treat them. If you like them, go say something. And you poor bastard. Like my dating style.
I got shunned down for trying.
But you don't stop though, because that's what you do. Because ultimately, every person that doesn't appreciate what you're doing isn't the person you're supposed to be with. Because none of these are tricks. None of these is a bait for a fish. There's guys out there that do that, but you're not one of them. As much as getting laid is awesome, at the end of the day, you're just a guy who wants companionship and someone to be with. You're not looking to take advantage of anybody. And if you continue that path, you will eventually find your Lindsay. You will eventually find your Miss Marcus. Because it's the people who decide to be alone instead of being happy are the ones who quit and stop. They settle, right? They settle. They stop asking. They stop looking for the person who's right. They just look for the person who will touch them. And I just say, good for you, man. Don't stop. Don't let these women destroy the very thing that they deserve. And that's to be courted and to be respected and to be interested in. Like, just how lame. You see her, you're like, oh, she's pretty. All right, helmet on. And you just drive away? That's what's supposed to happen now? How the fuck do you, because how do you get together at that point? It's like, hey, he's cute. Oh, hey, he's or she's cute. Oh, well, maybe we'll talk to each other one day. Who knows?
Yeah.
So,
it's,
man.
I don't know. And, it doesn't end there, Marcus. So
keep going. All right.
I settled the matter.
Okay.
All right, in my own way on this
Interesting.
one, okay? Without doing anything illegal.
She
or
sent you the
whatever,
essay.
okay?
Well, that's a weird thing to lead with, but we'll leave it the judgment to the story.
Well, because if anything, if I get away with that, I definitely would have wanted to slash her tires or something.
Well,
that's
and you'd be a piece of shit.
Exactly. Yeah.
So let's hear the OJ. What happened?
So, I did not respond to the message. I was like, yeah, I'm not going to be able to reason with this person. It's not worth it.
I respect it.
I read it and I was like, all right, whatever, GG's. And back then, GG next. So anyways,
okay, go ahead. that's
I was,
funny.
back then I was going to the gym.
Okay.
I was trying to get back into shape because my COVID body,
Trust me, it gets away from you. Stay on top of it.
So anyways, I didn't want to take my bike to school if I was only going to the gym after class because I would have my helmet and my gear and all this other shit with me. It's just too much to carry around with you. So what I did was just use the grocery store system I would use during the wintertime or when it was raining when I would go to class. I would just park across the street to the grocery store and walk over, not go to class, but go to the gym, on the weekends or like whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in that same plaza, there is like some Mexican restaurant or whatever, adjacent to the crosswalk where I have to cross to get to campus.
Okay.
And I park my car at the grocery store. I'm walking past the restaurant to get to the crosswalk. And guess whose motorcycle I saw in that parking lot of the Mexican restaurant?
Hey, little Miss Thing, I bet ya. Okay. Uh-oh.
So I looked at it for a second and I look at the building and I'm like, she's in there. She's eating dinner right now.
Okay.
And I'm like, I have a really awesome based red pill idea right now.
All right.
So I walk into the door and you've seen the Terminator, right?
Uh-huh.
I walk inside and I like scan the room like the Terminator does when he like walks into buildings and shit.
Okay.
And I see her sitting at a table with what appears to be her family. So like her mom, her sister, maybe a friend, and some guy, maybe a brother, or maybe her boyfriend. I don't know, right?
Yeah.
So I walk right up to that table and I go, hey, I don't appreciate you treating me the way that you did. All I wanted to do was say hi to you, okay? That's all I wanted to do.
Holy
So,
shit.
Whatever. Yep.
Yeah.
And you know what she said to me?
What?
She said, oh, well, my dad's a cop, so...
What the and I still just wanted to say hi to you. Did the family say anything? That's insane. You just went up to their table?
Yep. Her family, they were all speechless. They didn't say a single thing to me.
Not a very good cop.
Well, her dad wasn't there, but...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was just her mom. I doubt her dad's a cop anyway. Like,
well, probably not. So you said that. This is like in the Seinfeld when Elaine went to go eat those egg rolls. Like, so you walk up to this table. She's the only one who knows at all what's happening. Is this 4 people at this table? I heard mom, her. Yeah, so 4
mom,
people.
Sister/friends, brother/friend/boyfriend, whoever. I don't know them.
Yeah. And they're all just looking at you. Now, I need, what's your not sentiment.
Attire?
What's your, how are you angry, smiling, scream? What do you do?
I'm definitely angry. I was really mad because I felt mistreated.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't do anything wrong. Like, it's not right to be treated like that, you know? And I had my soccer pants on and like just like a raggy t-shirt and my fingerless gloves because I was going to the gym and a water bottle in my hand.
Where's your mullet? There's the only thing missing.
Was my hair this long back then? It might have been.
Okay.
I didn't shave that day, so I was pretty scruffy looking on the
Yeah.
face too.
So that's a bold call. So you go up to this woman,
I called her
confront
out
her,
in front of her family.
called her out, and then she says, "My dad's a cop." And then what happens?
And I was just like, okay. And I rolled my eyes and I was like, all right, bye. Like,
And then you walk away?
yep.
Was it worth it?
Oh yeah.
What, just to feel better? Like, that is crazy to me. But also,
the matter is settled.
You got the final word. Because any follow-up from her, anything after that?
I've seen her bike on campus.
Yeah.
So I was really, so that's still spring 2022.
Roger.
So I was hoping she was going to graduate that semester because I really didn't want to see her again after that.
I'm sure you didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, respect the willingness to shoot the shot. Or not shoot the shot, the thing at the end, because I guess at the end of the day, what did you gain other than peace of mind, I guess? Or
yeah, and also, like, I'm probably the only guy that she, like, didn't fully get away with treating like that. I'm sure she's done with other guys before. You know, and maybe I changed her whole attitude after that. Like, maybe she's gonna think twice about treating people like that, because if she does that to the wrong person,
it's like,
I mean, all kinds
yeah,
of
they
things
might
can
run
happen,
up to you at dinner and yell at you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I'm talking worse than that.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Yeah. Wow. That is quite the story. And then it's May of 23. Has there been
She had to have graduated by now.
Well, I mean, like, there's no other interaction other than seeing her bike ever happened?
Yeah, so I knew she definitely still went to my school, because that following semester in the fall, I saw her bike on campus. I'm like, I mean, man, she still goes here. Fuck.
Wow.
So you know what I did?
What'd you do?
I still messed with her, though. I parked my motorcycle right next to hers and shoved my existence in her face.
That's weird. I'm not on your team on this one. That one's weird. Because ultimately,
that's all I did, though.
She's living rent free in your head. But hey, you know what, man? Shit.
Not anymore. I was just a mess with her.
Well, and there's a lot of. It's just a story. That's the funny part.
Yeah.
Huh. But that's the problem, right? To kind of, this is more for me, right? Because when I hear things like this, I always try to think about both sides. And here's kind of where I landed on it, if you don't mind me telling you.
Yeah, sure, go for it. Yeah.
As much as I feel at the end, it's not something I would have done. In the world that I know who you are as a person, I don't foresee that anything you did was like, fuck you. Like, none of it was like a high level when you were, I hope, addressing these people. But ultimately, you nailed it on the head for me. You don't just get to be a dick. You don't just get to be rude to somebody and expect there to be no consequences. Now, if the only thing she did rude was like ghost you, that's totally different. But if she's sending you this like nasty gram about how you're like not being a good person and like leave me alone, that is where it's like, well, you got to express your opinion about me. Now I'm going to express my opinion about how you know. So
exactly.
That's, I guess, the silver lining for me, other than I'm a big believer of be the person you want others to be. But sometimes you got to drop some punishment, man. I don't know. It's
that was my whole mentality behind it. I didn't want to promote bad behavior that she was displaying.
Yeah,
basically.
just kind of ignore it. Cause I don't know. Like you said, if everybody starts acting like how she acted, we would never talk to each other. We would never stop like driving these wedges between us. And depending on how you said it, I mean, essentially, it sounds like you said, hey, I don't appreciate being disrespected like that. You could have just told me I'm not interested. You didn't have to give me the essay about, why I was bad or wrong.
That's pretty much the gist of what I said. I didn't like drop any F-bombs or cuss at him or, anything like that.
You didn't give him the knife hand,
Yeah, I'm not trying to like make a scene in the restaurant or nothing, I'd like to eat there sometime. It seems like a nice restaurant, so, I just did my thing and dipped out when she said, oh, my dad's a cop. And I'm like, okay, I'm real scared now.
Yeah, well, that also shows she didn't hear what you said.
Yeah.
Because am I correct in your assumption where you essentially just said, hey, I don't appreciate what you did?
Yeah, absolutely. I just wanted to tell her, like why I didn't like the way I was treated. That's pretty much it.
And then to also clarify your definition of the way you were treated, like what was the disrespectful part?
So basically labeling me a creep just to try to court her.
She called you a creep?
Yes.
Wow.
I don't
That
have
is
the
such
message
an
anymore
insult.
because
It's all right.
yeah, I
If
don't
you,
have,
hey,
I don't have the message anymore because
Yeah.
it's on my old phone. So
yeah,
I
you
got
haven't
a new
lied to
one
me up to
recently.
this point. I have no reason to ever
Yeah.
think you would. So she called you a creep. That is so
Yep.
disrespectful, man.
And then the fact that she got her friend to like take note of what time she saw my bike parked in the garage. It's like, why are you writing that down
Yeah.
and like making a mental note of that? Like, I've never done that before for anybody.
Yeah. Well, don't
know,
make
it's-
me a villain. I'm not a, I didn't do
Yeah.
anything to you. Stop trying to convince
just
people
like-
I hated.
The treatment, the labeling, and the disrespect is where I drew the line
Yeah.
because it's not right. Like,
Well,
if
you don't just get
if
a
you don't want to give me your number the day I met you, then just don't give it to me. Like, and then
Mhm.
that's it. And then GG's, you
Yep.
know?
Or give a fake number. I mean, I don't agree with that, but for the women who believe that they can't say no to men, you can, for the record.
Yeah.
You absolutely can say no to men. There's tons of fake numbers. I don't know. There's a lot of ways, but also I'm assuming she was older, also in her 20s. Like not,
She's around my age.
yeah. Like, so at that point, at that age, middle 20s, early middle 20s, how do you not like have the confidence to tell someone politely, like, hey, I'm not interested? Like, what's the fear
I've rejected
there?
people before.
Yeah. I never
I mean,
have,
I've
but I
rejected
bet you it
guys
feels
before,
good.
too, you know?
Oh, they are the nicest though, aren't they?
Yeah, and they don't give me nothing. I'm like, I'm just
Yeah.
telling them, like, hey, dude,
Sorry, man. Not interested.
I'm just not on your same, spectrum. That's all.
And then
Nothing- you
guess
didn't do
what?
anything
Did he
wrong.
like hold you down and right?
No,
He's probably
absolutely not. He didn't try to kick my ass or nothing. He was
it's like,
just
are you
like, all
sure?
right, man.
It's like, yeah, dude, I'm sure. High five. See, okay, thanks.
I've rejected people too. So
Yeah.
it's like, but I'm respectful about it. I don't do what she did.
True.
You know.
Interesting though.
So
It's what a story. What an interesting story.
yeah.
Because that's something
so
she's
that
gonna
was-
know forever, and it's something you're
Oh,
gonna know
yeah.
forever.
That
like
family's
it's
not forgetting any of that.
never.
Yeah.
That's and then you wonder what comes about it. Was she emboldened in her distrust of men because of what you did, or did you plant a seed of potential positive change? Because like both, that's kind of the two options, right? From your confrontation. How cool, man! If you ever get an update on if she became worse or better, let me know. You know.
I haven't seen her since
Yeah.
let's see, the last time I saw her motorcycle was actually the fall semester, so maybe she graduated in the fall. I don't know.
Interesting.
So I
Yeah.
haven't seen her
Yeah.
since.
Crazy.
So
Huh.
yeah. So
What a
yeah, I guess
story.
we'll now fast forward to
Yeah.
fall 2022.
We are, but first I have to pee like you could not even understand.
Okay.
So
Gotcha.
I'll be right back. Entertain the truth.
All right. We'll catch up on chat here then. Let me take a jug of water sip. Someone redeemed it earlier. I'm sorry guys. We've been hard locked in here. And for you YouTube people, I'm reading my Twitch chat, so let me see here. Let me catch up on what I missed. Let's see here. Oh, we got an anonymous tip. Wait a minute. Hello? Sir? 420. God. Oh man. Who came in here since we started? Jenna's here. What's up, Jenna? Sensei Chonga's here. Actually, I might just whip out the YouTube thing and just say hi to the YouTube peeps as well. Hang on, gangsters. Let me see here. I got it on my phone. I see Lindsay. Okay. Who else is here? Yo, Monster Energy, what's up, dude? Welcome on in. Welcome to the podcast. Jolo is here. What's up, dude?
Holy crap. Woo.
Eggs and Beans is here. Vander's here.
Oh.
Buckethead. Oh my god, all these legends coming in saying hi to us, Marcus.
Yo, what's up, legends? I am blessed to be experiencing life vicariously through the CTown ladies man. So, hell yeah, man. Thank you. My eyes were
Yeah,
floating.
sure thing.
That was getting ridiculous.
Yep, I
Okay.
just briefly said hi to everyone that came in since
Woo.
we started, so.
That's great.
Um,
All right, so we are in the fall of 23?
22.
2. And what is the life of the COVID college experience or kid?
It
happening?
is. It's definitely on the horizon of a lot a lot better in the last 2 years.
Okay.
So this is the first like initial start of the semester. No masks, no more testing as well. They got rid of that too.
Texting.
Because it testing
Oh,
to like get
testing.
tested every week.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because it was such a chore for me to like have to dedicate time once a week to go all the way across campus to the health center, wait in this big line and get tested, and
That's crazy,
all
man.
that. Yeah. So let's see. So I had this one class. I took Intro to Geology. Okay. So I noticed that the professors really started to show how much they cared. Okay. So this is a D1 college campus, right? Before COVID, most professors are wearing business casual, whatever. I'm assuming there's some kind of dress code for them there, right?
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. That's what I gathered.
Well, so I know, like, faculty-wise, they can enforce different rules, but depending on the school, a lot of times it was if you wanted to or not.
And I think it depends on the professor too, but like some
Yeah.
professors I had, it was definitely the minimum was definitely business casual. Some of my professors I had wore a full suit.
Yeah. I mean,
That's how
as they
serious took
should.
it.
As they should.
Yeah. But I was taking a geology class because I still needed some like general ed credit. And I heard that this class was,
Yeah.
relatively simple and straightforward. And man, let me tell you, Marcus, this guy was an absolute Chad.
Chad.
Okay. Oh man, he was something else. So this was like a 200-person class, big room. This guy walks in with a t-shirt, some like baggy khakis,
Yeah.
and flip-flops.
Free
He's
money for
wearing
this guy.
flip-flops.
Yeah.
This guy does not care whatsoever.
Oh, man.
And he's an older guy too. He's another one of those professors where he just does not care. You show up, you participate,
Unbelievable.
you're gonna get an A. You'll be fine.
So,
It's
like,
not
why
that
don't you
hard.
just pay money and get the paper?
Yep.
But so
It's like, so I had to
super
like
Chad.
waste the entire morning with this guy. He was hilarious though. I'll give him
Yeah.
that. This guy was a absolute Chad. He was
So did you
something
notice
else.
with the older professors is when they got lazier and cared less? Or was it kind of person to person?
depends.
Really?
It depends. So it would really actually boil down to like, okay, how old is he really? Because some of these professors, they're already getting white hair or whatever.
Mhm.
They're still like extremely like, serious and you don't mess around their
Yeah.
class and all this other stuff because they'll fail you. They don't care.
Yeah.
So I think it really just depended on the individual.
Hmm.
But you could tell like the way they were acting, the things they were saying, they were on their way out the door. They're ready to retire. If they get fired, they can't. Nothing can happen to them.
Well, and imagine
So-
doing 20 years as a normal professor and then you have 2 years of COVID. Like, talk about wanting to get out at that point.
I think a lot of people retired that year too.
Oh, I'm
if
sure.
I would, yeah.
Because, like, how
So
much
they-
did it really go back? So your first freshman year was normal, and then
Mhm.
2022, it started to get normal. And then by the time you
Yeah.
graduate, I mean, how close to that first year did it truly get back to?
This last semester is really
Yeah?
when it. Yeah.
What started
and now-
happening again?
I think so we started in early January, obviously.
Mhm.
And we went on spring break and I went on my cruise, which I think you were
Yeah.
around for most of.
Oh, yeah, I
touched
know.
on that a
I'd-
lot.
that-
Yeah. Best vacation I've ever had in my life.
I love it.
And I think when we came back and the weather really started to turn over, is like really when events on campus were picking up and just really when people were, socializing and just it felt like a college campus again.
So, like, there was sports. I don't know if there's sports at your campus, but
Oh, well, yeah, they were doing sports since 21.
oh, they were? Okay.
Yeah.
So
With
what events
limited
went away
restrictions.
completely and only recently came back? So, like, when did they bring
In
sports
2020,
back?
Yeah.
When did they bring sports back?
In fall 21.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you're saying events came back around fall of 22?
I mean, I'm sure there were events going on the whole time, but it wasn't like obvious. It wasn't
Yeah.
like, you wouldn't run into them outside the building at class.
There wasn't a
you know?
bustling environment of college
Exactly.
students.
Yeah.
So that last semester, was it bustling? I mean,
Oh yeah. There were
Yeah.
tables set up everywhere. There was, they started bringing food trucks on the campus again.
oh shit. Okay.
Yeah. I plan on doing like an IRL stream actually around campus and kind of showing everybody.
That's fun.
I don't care anymore since I graduated from there. I don't care if people
yeah.
know now.
Yeah.
So,
Huh.
yeah, I'm planning on just kind of really showing everybody where my classes were and like, what this happened right here and this happened over here, you know.
Hmm.
So yeah, it was definitely a lively environment this past semester. And it's a shame because I didn't really get to enjoy it that much, you know.
You got one. So by my calculations, you got 3 semesters of the college experience out of
2.5.
2.5. Yeah.
We'll give it 2.5.
Wow. That's, how do you feel about all that?
Absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
I'm coming out of college with no girlfriend, no group of friends.
Hey.
No,
I know what you mean, though. I know what you mean.
Well, yeah.
I know what I'm just giving you a hard time. It's
yeah.
totally different. It's totally different.
Yeah. No, like college parties on my belt, you know, and when that comes to mind, like whatever you see on Hollywood, I guess. But I think that's a little over exaggerated anyway.
Not the parties I went to.
Well, I've been finding out a lot, like since I became an adult, of like how much a lie the movies were.
Yeah.
And I think it's a little bit with college, you know, like.
You also might be the product of your age too, because you're how old right now?
I'm 26.
See, and I'm 35 almost, so I'm 10 years apart in terms of our life kind of experience or whatever, because I got the college experience when my friends went, so I was 17 through like 20 was my college years, because I joined the military when I was 20. So like when I was 17 through 20-ish, my friends were the ones getting their useless degrees while I was making a bunch more money than them. Dude, I made so much more money than all my friends that went to college and still do. I have
nice.
Everyone's college experience is a little different. I like to think I did it perfectly. And I have 2 associate's degrees, which is funny. But I got it all through the military while I was in the military. So I basically got to do military school, which was sweet. But anyway, I digress. I lost my point completely. But no, the parties I went to, dude, I'm telling you, this is my college experience. We would walk up and down random neighborhoods and look for open garages. And we would walk up to these garages knowing that these are college kids. And I would party with them. I would drink all their beer. We would play beer pong. We would have a good time. And I would leave. I didn't know a single one of these kids. But I could tell you, we danced on tables. I got the cops showed up. I was drinking a cup of whiskey when I wasn't legal to drink. And the cops rolled up to this college party. Me and another friend, she was the one in college, I was not. We were standing in the driveway. So we got caught. 35 people behind us. As soon as they saw the cops come, they're running out the back door, jumping over into my neighbor's fences. And I literally go, shit. And I take my drink and I put it underneath the car. And I'm just like, sorry. Because I mean, what am I going to do? I'm not going to run. He caught me dead to rights. At least I could do is be respectful and pretend. So I would have
just broke the bottle in front of him. And be like, hey,
it was my mug. Will you grab my mug? Because they still saw it, just because you destroy the evidence. If you smoke crack in front of a dude, just because the crack's gone doesn't mean they can't get you for it. It's like, hold on, what you gonna do now? There ain't no crack left. But you know, it was here's the cool part. We didn't run, they all did. The cop's like, hey, go stop them. And I'm like, what do you mean go stop them? It's like, I'm not gonna leave. Are you crazy? It's like, tell them to stop running. So I was like, okay. And because I thought he was like going to get me for running. So I went out back and I just kind of did one of these and I was like, shut up. So I turn around, I come back and I'm like, they're all gone. Sorry. And he got my ID. I was 19 at the time, got my ID. And he's just like, what's going on here? I'm like, honestly, sir, we're just having a party. Like, that's all we're doing. And he kind of looks around. He's like, well, all right. Shut it down. If we come back, people are going to jail. And I'm just like, I am a minor in possession and a minor in alcohol. I'm drunk. And these cops, dude, I'm telling you, if I would have ran, if I'd have given them any lip at all, it would have been a completely different situation.
Dude, that sounds like a certified chat right there.
But I just was like, let's see what fucking happens. And it worked out in my favor. And I shut the party down. And dude, trust me, like, we still partied inside, but that was one of dozens of parties for me. Because it was a different world back then, man. There was no cell phones. Yeah. Like, no one's recording. No one's posting their shit on the internet. We all were in a house drinking, getting fucked up, and having a fun time. Right?
So here's the thing with 2023, Marcus. You can't just walk around neighborhoods looking for open garages nowadays. All right, I'd probably get killed doing that.
That's crazy, man. Those are some of the best parties I ever went to. So this cup, I don't know if this is
drink it out of that.
Yeah, this was the Stein. It says, "Let's go drink till we can't feel feelings anymore." So I had this was full of. So I have a perfect system. I do ice up to the anymore. I do whiskey up to his belly button, and then I go 7-Up to the top of the D. So that I would have 4 of these a night. And so I'm sitting there drinking, and I'm just like, shit. I didn't drink it all. I just took a drink of it because I knew I was going to be able to take another drink for a while. So I took a drink of it, and here we go. And I just set that shit down, man. I don't know. It was so much fun. And then another time we jumped into this, okay, this ain't for me. We were skinny dipping in this apartment complex, and one of the people who lived there actually jumped in the pool with us because we had jumped the fence. There was like 7 of us naked in this pool, and dude showed up who lived there and sat in the corner. He was all wasted, and then he sat in the corner watching us all do our drug, naked swimming in the pool, and then he invited us up to his apartment. And guess what, CTown? We all went. Every single one of us went to that apartment. And it was a good time to be had by all. I'm just saying, life's for the living, folks. And if you're not out there living, you're dying. So,
I think about this all the time. I feel like if I was born like 10 years earlier, I probably would have had a better young life.
The sensibilities of modern age is very different than it used to be. And that's not just the old guy. It's the cell phones, brother. It's the videotape. It's the pictures. That is the biggest difference. There's no more privacy. And because there's no more privacy, people don't do private shit. It sucks.
Yeah, you can't do that kind of shit anymore because there's cameras everywhere.
Cameras everywhere. Like, if that happened today, me and 7 of my buddies would have been arrested for being naked in public. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? We didn't hurt nobody. We didn't create a single victim that day. But now, I can't even walk naked through a parking lot without thinking the cops are going to come. It's ridiculous. Yep. I have to go to California to walk around naked. What the hell?
Yep. They don't like the master cheeks.
They don't like the master cheeks. But I don't know. With all that being said, it sounds like a lot of doom and gloom. But the reality is, for the kids who want to have fun, they still can. They just have to be willing to make it's harder, right? If you want privacy, go to the woods where there's no cell phones. Don't let people take pictures of you if you're throwing the party. It sucks, but it's just kind of new rules, If you want to have good, genuine friendships, you got to have them. And if you want to find girls, bringing it back to you, you got to talk to them. Take the hits and do it better. Baby Yoda knows we have that exact same doll, just so you know. It's right up above me.
Oh, yeah, this one right here? Yeah. So, yeah, I got the Jack Sparrow Funko and then the Baby Yoda and then the Stranger Things all right here together.
That's so good, man.
My little streamer shelf.
Yeah. All right, so let's bring this bus into the depot. All right, so we are in spring of 23, right?
Mm-hmm.
You graduated spring of 23?
Yeah,
that was your last semester. Mm-hmm. Tell me about that, right? You've made it through the COVID. You finally have all of your obligations complied, whatever, check boxes done. What was it like to graduate?
Let's see. So, I was very stressed out throughout the month of April and then earlier this month because there's a lot riding on me right now. Like, I've come this far, like I cannot fail any classes because I'm going to be behind again. And I want to graduate in the spring like everybody else and all that. And let's see. I managed to this is my first go around of getting A's and B's since fall 2019.
Hey, good job.
Yeah.
So is there a risk you won't graduate?
Oh no, I already did the math.
Okay.
It's not possible. Yeah. I did the math at when finals started. I looked at what my current average was because you can do that on your student profile nowadays.
That's cool.
Yeah. So they do, well, the professors should post grades after each test and assignment, whatever, in a timely manner, and it's live real-time results, so you get your averages on demand basically.
Wow.
So basically, I pulled everything up. Like, okay, I got like an A in this class. Well, okay, if I flunk the final, I'm still gonna pass, but I still went to the final and still got my A anyways. So I basically just did the math and just kind of safety netted, um, did that check for everything, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, as long as I take my finals and I do decent enough,
Yeah.
should be good to go. And I did a verification check after final grades were posted after the ceremony that following Monday, and yeah, my degree works. Like all your requirements, they give you a little check off list
Okay.
digitally of everything, so it shows you like all the classes you have to take and like how many credits they earn and stuff like that. They got it all break down for you, which is nice. But
Yeah.
everything was complete, so there's really no reason for them not to.
So what's
So
the ceremony?
the ceremony. So I tried to send you a GIF of the ceremony because there's a video of me walking across the stage.
Oh,
And
I didn't.
it was too big.
Oh, yeah.
Discord
Nice.
wouldn't let me send it. Yeah. I know. Because what I had to do was I had to screen record the video off my school's website with OBS,
Gotcha.
and then I had to edit it in Adobe Premiere to zoom in so my name's not on the bottom. And then I had to take out the audio so you don't hear the guy saying my name either.
Yeah.
But I do have a GIF of me walking across the stage.
Oh.
But it's like over 100 megabytes. Why? I don't know.
Did you do
So-
did you try just downloading from a downloader instead of screen record?
No.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so sorry guys, I can't.
We'll talk.
well,
I can
actually-
I think I can help you. Because you're
well, I
saying
can
it's
show it
too
on
big.
I can show it on my stream. I just can't send it to you. So
I don't want to touch anything.
I don't either. That's the other problem too. I don't
I'll
wanna
look
touch
at it
anything
later.
right
We'll
now.
look at it later because I might want some stuff to if I would edit this thing up and stuff.
Yeah.
So it was an actual. You put a gown on, had a cap on.
Yes. So here's the process. So your cap and gown is actually one of the very few things covered in your tuition, so I didn't have to pay for that.
Hey, wow, wow! Watch them go.
One less thing to pay for, right?
Yeah, true.
So yeah, so they tell you like a month in advance, like, hey, pick up your cap and gowns by this date. So one day, like mid-April, I went to the bookstore after class and picked up my cap and gown. And it fits me. I said, hey, how tall are you? Hey, I'm 5'9". Okay, what's your major? Okay, econ. Okay, here, take the red tassel because econ majors wear the red tassel. There's like different colored
Interesting.
tassels
Everyone's
for
special.
all the majors. Yep.
It's
Yeah.
only tassels I care about.
Yep. And some people got two of them because they double majored. And I'm like, how
What?
stupid does it gotta look to wear two tassels on your cap? Like, yeah.
It's so much of it is just ego and like.
Yep, it is.
It's
So I had one cord. I got the veteran cord just for being in the military.
What's the oh
It's just I have it actually. I can go get it if you want to see it. It's just a red, white, and blue cord that you wear around your neck.
around your neck like a
Roughly.
lanyard.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fun though. It's nice that
But
they recognize.
they were given they weren't just honors cords. There were cords for everything. They were giving people like cords with like flag colors from what country they're from and
Gotcha.
and all this other stuff.
just-
and it's like, damn man, you're wearing all the drip right now, man. Like you got
Yeah.
everything,
But talk about a diminishing of the value. That's kind of how I look at it. So everyone gets
Yeah.
their own cord. Who gives a shit then? If everybody gets one, it's not earned. It's just a
like when I
recognition.
graduated high school, like the only people wearing the cords were like honors students
Yeah,
and like
yep.
maybe people that played sports, and like that's pretty much it.
People who did something. Like I didn't have I didn't have a
people-
single cord, and I shouldn't have. I didn't do
Yeah.
anything in school.
Yeah, like people were I found it a little weird how people were getting cords just for like good for them for coming from another country to graduate here, but it's like why are you getting a cord for that though?
Yeah.
I just thought it was weird.
Just for moving.
Yeah. I guess, I don't know.
I don't know. Because I'm
So-
sure all those cords go into some program that justifies how many funds they get, and it's all.
Yeah, it's probably more to it, but
yeah.
I can DM you the whole ceremony if you want to see it, Marcus. I mean, it was an all day event for me. So
Wow. Yeah, dude, you can send it to me. You'll probably
yeah.
if it's too big, let me know, and we'll just use the Google Docs.
Oh no, I can just send you like the website where.
Oh, even better.
It's just
There you
can
go.
watch it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, so it was on a Saturday. So it was this past Saturday.
Mhm.
and it was an all-day thing. So I got up at like noon, and I show up there hungover because I got absolutely plastered the night before
My man.
downtown. Yep.
Nice.
And I show up hungover, and my dad's there, my cousin's there. We took a couple pictures around campus of
Oh,
just me in my cap and gown and all that.
yay.
Yep. And then so they bring all the students inside the basketball stadium. That's where they have it. And man, what a tight fit with the seating.
Really?
Like I was like, I know you guys can't really see it, but I was like this the whole time in my
Jeez.
chair, sitting down inside the stadium.
How many
There
heads are we
were-
talking? How many people?
So they divided up between 2 days.
Mhm.
So Friday, all of the education and art majors, I think, some doctorates and all that. They did the Friday
Okay.
ceremony, and then all the business majors and engineering and computers and all that stuff did the Saturday
Okay.
day, which is me. So engineers were in the morning, so they got the engineers out of the way, and then the business major started at 3 o'clock. So I got there at noon.
Hmm.
1, to get some food in my system.
Yeah.
2, to meet my family there because there were thousands of people
Golly.
there that day.
Yeah.
I think head count between graduates alone, we're probably talking over 1,000 people that walked across the stage.
Damn, that's a huge
Yeah.
graduation. Wow.
That's
And
like
was it like a whole
over-
ceremony, like
yeah.
play music and do that?
Yeah, they had the band play,
awesome.
and they had the chancellor give a speech, and like the number one in the class, I don't even know what her name is, give the speech, and it was pretty similar to like high school.
Yay.
Besides it was just different. So I was number 250 in that 1,000+ order.
Okay.
So I got to go pretty early, but I was sitting for a while waiting
Yeah.
for everyone else to go.
Huh. So like
yeah, I wish
literally
I was
just sitting in a sea of
like
people.
this.
Yeah.
Because you can't
Oh.
move because they got to cram us all in there.
Yeah. I bet you it was
So-
hot as hell in there.
No, they had the AC on.
Oh, they
actually.
did? Okay.
Yeah, I just
So-
had no leg room or nothing. I was
Yeah.
just kind of compressed the whole time.
Were you nervous
Um,
sitting there? Like, how
I
were you feeling
was-
when it happened?
I was actually, my heart was racing when I was getting closer and closer and closer in line to get to
Yeah.
the stage where they, get me on camera walking across the stage and all that.
Why do you think it was? What about it?
I don't
it
know.
Was
I
hitting
was
you?
just like, I was
you
like,
know?
dude, this is it. Like, it's happening right now. I did it. I got through COVID. I got my degree. I fulfilled my
Wow.
family's standard. I did
Yeah.
all that, everything.
Just
And,
huh?
but what's weird though is that it didn't feel as special as high school to me.
Really?
Yes, I thought the high school graduation was more special because when I
Interesting.
walked across the stage, the crowd was, about the same level of cheering as everybody else. It was kind of, low.
I feel ya. I feel ya.
When I did high school, I know like everybody in the crowd. I know their parents, I know their siblings, I know a lot of people in the crowd for the high school one.
Yeah.
So when everyone's walking across the stage in high school, for the most part, yeah, the whole crowd's going crazy for you, but not necessarily on this one.
Huh. So
So-
college was more, or high school was more personal and therefore more fulfilling. But then college was more, I mean, the only word I can think of is like mechanical. Like you got in line, you got the thing, you shook the hand, and you just
Yeah.
compared to our high school, people were like, individual success, way to go, CTown, right? You were just,
Yeah.
you were more of the congratulations graduates compared to high school. You were congratulations CTown. Is that
Yeah, like
appropriate?
like when I walked across the stage, I don't have the video on me. My dad probably still does. That's deep in the archives. But when I walked across the stage for my high school, I mean, everyone was going crazy.
Yeah.
And they were for pretty much everybody else that was relevant in my class, because we all knew each other.
Yeah.
We all grew up together. We all played sports together. We did all this other stuff. And it's like, well, college, I mean, yeah, I probably knew like a handful of people I had classes with a few times, but we
That's
weren't
it.
like best friends or whatever. So it's like it just hit different when I walked across the stage. I was still happy as days.
Yeah.
Wait till you see the video. I'm walking across, I got my arms out. I'm like,
Yeah, I bet,
did it,
man.
and I'm like,
I
yeah.
bet.
But it was like barely any cheering to go with it. I'm like,
So
shit.
now, what about when you left the military, right? So how did that sensation feel compared? Like, would you mind comparing how that felt compared to college and
yeah,
military?
that one actually is actually going to top both high school and college,
Yeah.
I think, because that was the hardest thing I've ever done in my entire life.
Leaving
Um,
or being
no,
in the
going-
military?
going through basic training
Yeah.
in that graduation ceremony, that was something.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe I did it. You know how close I
Really?
was to like failing the PT test?
What?
Like that was the PT test.
Why?
Well, I wasn't very good at doing push-ups.
No kidding? That surprises
There's-
me. You seem, well, you're small, you know? You small kids always did a little easier than us.
It's so basically for my age group back then, I think I had to do at least like 40 push-ups, and then
In
right
2
after
minutes,
that
right?
you had to do in 2 minutes. Yep.
It's crazy.
And then you had to do, I think it was so long ago. I think you had to do like probably around the same amount of sit-ups, also
2
within 2
minutes.
minutes, and then a 2-mile run, and they're
It's-
all back to back. There's like barely a break in between. And I mean that killed me.
That's
And
crazy.
you're doing this while you're exhausted and you're starving as well. So it's like, you know.
No, I say it's crazy because the Air Force, do you know what our standards were? That's why I'm like,
No.
it's so easy in the Army. You have 50 push-ups in a minute. If you want a guaranteed pass, this is what I did. 50 push-ups in
50
a minute.
in a minute?
In a minute. The minimum's 42. So bare minimum, 42 push-ups in a minute. So you got, but I always did 50 because if you do this, you'll always pass. But
Well,
it's
yeah, you
40
might as well go for as many as you
Yeah.
can, right? Yeah.
Well, but I was fat and I hated it. But 42 minimum, I'll give you the minimums. Not what I did. So it's 42 minimum push-ups in a minute. It was 30. No, God, the push-ups were awful. Or because sit-ups killed me. So the sit-ups were 50 because I could only do the minimum of sit-ups. And then we had to run a mile and a half under 12 in 12 minutes. And then we had a waist measurement for dudes. It had to be under 32, I think, our bellies.
Oh, they measured your
They're
weight?
so fucking dumb, CTown.
Oh, they
but-
just took our BMI.
yeah,
and just
nope.
did
So they
that.
didn't use our BMI. They did waist, and then they did those 3
Oh.
exercises that I spoke of.
Hmm.
So that's why, like,
That's
I'm just
weird.
surprised because all the Army dudes, I'm like, you get to do what? It was so much easier for their PT. And I don't mean to shit. I'm not trying to shun you at all. I'm just, you don't seem like somebody who would struggle physically. I'm surprised you did.
Well, yeah. I mean, the conditions I was under, though. I mean, I was always
17.
tired and hungry.
Well, yeah, basic training as you should be.
Yeah. So it's like, I feel like that was why I struggled so hard. Is because like I was just always tired and hungry, and I just
And infantry too. So I doubt they.
yeah.
Man, they
And, well,
probably
here's-
just ran
Here's the
you
thing.
guys.
Here's the thing, though. So, like, they wouldn't count bad push-ups. Like, it would have to
Yes.
be like considered
Mhm.
a full-on push-up. So I probably missed a bunch, even though I felt like they should have counted. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
They were
I got
very,
you.
very tough on what actually counts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but you passed. So then, when you had
Yeah,
your
barely.
graduation ceremony for the
Yes,
military,
And my dad. Yes, and my dad was the only one that came down.
what? Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, my dad's the only one that's been to all 3 high school, military, and now college. Yeah, he's the only one that's been to all 3.
Interesting.
And that was just, it was so hard for me. I just could not believe I did it. And it was such an emotional moment for me too. Like I bawled my eyes out when I saw my dad in the crowd. I was looking for him.
Isn't it crazy?
And then you know, we took a picture with my drill sergeants and all that too. And it was just, I'm like, man, it's finally over. I'm finally
Man.
getting out of this hell on earth, you know?
yeah.
So
So you really got
that-
3
that one, I think,
graduations under your belt.
yeah, and that one's definitely gonna top the other 2.
Yeah.
And besides that, you know, there was a whole drill and ceremony on
Yep.
on the big field with the whole company and all that too, which is a cool
Mhm.
thing to do. So, and you know, I had my dress blues and you know all that.
Oh yeah.
So
I
yeah,
love it. Wow. So you've lived such an amazingly filled life in such a short amount of time.
yeah. Actually, I've experienced quite a bit for a younger person, haven't
Yeah.
I?
I mean, because if you think about it, you've gone through the gambit of most of the human experiences that people have. You've experienced the really high intensity with the military. You've experienced overcoming and complete cultural shift with COVID during college. Because you got to think, other people who, like, I was already in my working life when COVID happened.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So, like,
yeah.
as much as things changed, I mean, I was already kind of living my own life by my own design.
Yeah.
But, like, in college, you're still, and I mean this with all the politeness of the world, but, like, between the military and college, you have a guiding hand to help, like, hey, this is what life is going to do. And then college all of a sudden just says, like, or I mean, COVID just said, hey, figure it the fuck out. And,
Yep.
like, as much as that's a good thing, people should figure it out. That is not what college is for. College isn't the stiff hand of reality that slaps you into it. College is, we're going to empower you and get you ready for real life. That's how it is now. I don't agree with that, but it is. It is what it is. People pay money to have a college experience to help round them out more so that they can hopefully accomplish more as an adult. And essentially, you had the extremely rare experience that you did everything required to get that experience out of college, but because of the epidemic and the pandemic, you were unable to do it. So I would compare, an analogy I would use is you had the rights to a gold mine that you could only harvest dirt out of, simply because the powers that be of culture would not allow you to remove the gold from the mine. And that's crazy. What a unique situation to be in. And the fact that you chose to not quit during such a one-sided situation of college. You gave them money and then they gave you back bullshit, in my opinion. So that's
hopefully
nuts,
in the
man.
long run, I'll thank myself one day because, you know, I now have the degree. It's going to be in the mail any day.
No regrets. No regrets.
Yeah.
As you shouldn't.
And, you know, if I could go back in time and change things, you know, maybe I just go to college right out of high school and get into debt like the rest of everybody in my family, so I at least get the experience.
No.
You know?
No.
Or maybe I hold off until 2023. I go back in time and say, hey, don't go to college in 2019. COVID's coming. Just wait it out, you know? I don't know. It's all coulda, shoulda, woulda at this point.
Well, exactly. It's hindsight. It's easy.
Yeah.
It's easy to look back and say what you should have done better. Because how much easier it would have been if, say, you did quit, and now we're having this conversation because you're about to start college.
Yeah.
Right? Think about how different that would be. Now what, you're 27, 28 when you're graduating?
27 in August.
Oh, so you're like, you'd be then 30.
Well, I'd be in my 30s.
You'd be in your 30s graduating college.
And when I got out of the military, I said to myself, okay, I do not want to be in my 30s in college with a bunch of 18-year-old freshmen. It's like, I got to get this done ASAP, you know?
Good for you.
And, you know, this past semester, I really saw the age gap start to take hold. So when I was a freshman, I was 23. So, you know, I'm still kind of right at that average age threshold. You know, most people in college nowadays are 21, 22. So I'm like right there next to them, you know?
That's crazy.
And then junior year kicks along and I'm like 25 and I'm like,
wait a minute.
Everyone here is 18 and my new minimum is 21 for dating because we can't do nothing when you're 18.
You got to go to the bar. You got to be able to go to the adult places with me.
Exactly. Yeah. So, and then this past semester I had a history class and I guess they started like this early college program or whatever. Like there were high school kids taking this history class.
Wow.
That were like 17.
And you're like, hey, that's a new wrinkle.
I'm over here. I'm like, I got nearly 10 years on them, you know?
Yeah. Interesting. So how does it feel to kind of have that age kind of all of a sudden happen, right?
I felt so awkward in that class. I hated going there. I was like, dude, and then I was like, dude, there's no way I acted this way when I was their age. Just no way. I probably did.
You probably did.
But I was like, you guys are acting so stupid right now. It's like they're talking when the professor walks in and it's time to, you know, start class and it's like they're
I could kill them. So the young people in my class, I could just kill them. Because I did, when I was getting my pilot's license, I did community college here in Colorado, right? And those talking during class, like not only militaries, right? So I got that chip of anger on my shoulder, but also just the general morality. Like, don't be a dickhead. Respect the teacher, you stupid 14-year-old bastard. And they weren't 14, but the point is, like, shut up and color. And it was tough going back and being the young guy. Being the old guy. But one thing I noticed is a lot of people looked at the older guys for like guidance. I don't know if you got a similar experience, but like a lot of times people, if there was a, hey, who's right? They would come to me to like settle it. I don't know.
Oh, like a debate or something?
Well, like, for example, we talked about the Iraq war, right? And we were kind of talking about the legitimacy thereof of the Iraq war. Two people had differing opinions, and I did what I do pretty well, and I helped both sides to try to come to like a consensus together. But ultimately, we were having a conversation, or they were, and I got pulled into the conversation But the unique part is that I discovered is they were making both of their points. But as soon as I said my point, that was like, it almost like they started looking to me for a lecture. And I don't know if that came from youth and like teachers and because I was old and they were young. But when I tried to just be part of the conversation, they stopped treating each other as peers and started treating it more like an adult with kids. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, I'm not your daddy. Like, I want to talk to you guys. And that's what I got a lot. And I don't know, they called me grandpa too. So that maybe I just have that personality.
Well, so I don't think my age really stood out in the crowd.
You do look very young.
They probably thought I was their age, to be honest with you. So
must be nice. Hey man, hang on to that youthful spirit, okay?
I eat a lot of salad. I don't know.
Good for you. Good for you. Because maybe I just look old, right? Like I got all the stress wrinkles. But I was older too. I was 32, 33. But anyway, just I was curious what made you feel old? I guess then. So that's what made me feel old. Is like, why are you guys?
Yeah.
But what made you feel old?
It's just seeing, just looking at them and seeing the way they were dressing, the way they were conducting themselves, and the things they were talking about. I'm like, and then after I found out that they were from the early college program or whatever, I'm like, dude.
I'm so old. So what now, right? We've graduated. You've lived through it. You survived through it. What do you do now with this college experience? What is
you know what? We skipped over another highlight of last year.
Did we now?
Besides that crazy biker girl, something else crazy happened as well. That's more positive.
Okay, I like positive.
So the Career Center every year hosts a etiquette dinner every year.
Interesting.
So
that's fun.
It's basically like a fancy meal. You gotta show up with a suit and tie and a bunch of companies show up. Yeah, with the forks and the spoons and all that stuff, right? Because part of my problem, as the college experience is that I wanted to try to get an internship to build my resume.
Oh,
because all I had on my resume was Lowe's, and I mean, that's good to have some retail, and that too. It's good to have both of those, but it's like you got to have an internship by the time you graduate college, or you're wrong basically. And I agree, honestly.
Really free labor, huh?
Well, no. We don't.
You said internship. I guess I've always known them. There is paid internship. Okay, as there should be. You're working, you should get paid. Doesn't mean you get paid a lot. But
especially as an econ major. Okay.
Yeah.
And the problem with like the COVID environment and restrictions on campus, the Career Center really wasn't doing anything. Like they used to have you sign up for field trips, and you would go to companies and they'd have all these giant career fairs where those started coming back, but by then it was too late. I had my internship, so it's whatever. But anyways, last year I go to the etiquette dinner. I sign up, $10, fancy meal, show up in a suit, and you get to talk to a bunch of companies. Okay.
Okay.
So I go there. Waffle House corporate's there.
Nice.
Big old
love
dude.
Waffle House.
Yep. And I talked to him, but I'm like, okay, this guy's not here to hire. This guy's just here to promote the company because, it was so obvious.
Why? Why?
Because the guy's talking like it's this big fantasy thing world that we're living in. He's like, oh yeah, Waffle House is great. I've been working here since I was in college too. Blah blah blah, all this other stuff. And I'm like, okay, well, are you hiring? Oh yeah, we're always hiring.
We're always hiring.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Once he dropped that card, I was like,
that's
okay,
the
dude.
best one. Just put your application in, man. We're always hiring.
He gave us a QR code to scan, and I've already played that game with companies before.
Yeah,
and
then you get a
nothing for you.
Email like 7 months later. Hey, you still looking for a job? It's like,
no, you
been
don't
almost
even get
a
an
year.
email.
Oh no, you just I had one that
email.
called me. It was probably 8 months after I had applied. They're like, so are you still? It was FedEx.
Nice.
I applied for FedEx, and they called me 8 months later and said, "Hey, do you need a job?" I was like, "Not anymore. Hope I'd be dead if I would have waited for you guys."
Yeah, literally.
Man.
So, anyways,
anyways,
and, there's like insurance companies there. State Farm was there. They had a cutout of Jake from State Farm, like a cardboard cutout next to their table.
Wow.
I'm like, bro,
Yeah.
come on now.
Wow.
I'm not even gonna go over and talk to them. So anyways, so we get down and the dinner portion starts, and the district manager of Fastenal is sitting across from me at my table. Okay. And I have no idea what Fastenal is. I never heard of them. I don't know,
man, Great company.
what it's about. Yeah, it is.
Mhm.
So we get to the dinner, okay, and there's people in charge of the event going around all the tables and making sure we're doing everything right. They're teaching us how to etiquettely eat food, okay? I
Okay.
was so nervous. I'm just like, I do not want to be the guy to fuck something up in front of everybody right
Oh,
now.
how
And guess
interesting.
what? I was. So
You did fuck it
they
up?
get to yeah. So
yes.
they get to the part where they pass the bread out, okay?
Okay.
So you got a big old plate of bread in the middle of the table, and it's just like regular sized pieces of bread that you could eat out of with your, nothing bigger than your hand or nothing, right? So I reached for one and take it and tried to eat it, and they were like, "No, no, you can't do that." Like I was eating bread the wrong way. Okay.
Okay, what was the proper way to eat bread?
Is everyone
Oh,
ready
I'm
for
ready.
this? Are
I
you
need to
ready
know the
for this
bread rules.
absolute smooth brain terminology, mentality, everything of how to properly eat bread
Let's hear
at
it.
an etiquette setting.
Teach us the
So
bread
you're
ways.
supposed to take the bread and you're supposed to gently break it up into smaller pieces with your hands. And then you take the butter knife and put the butter on it, and then you eat it.
Not the like little pieces, like you rip it in half.
No, it wasn't this giant piece of bread. It was like no bigger than my hand.
Yeah, like
it
a
was
roll.
Like already. No, it was already like a sizable edible piece of
Like
bread.
okay, like a slice of bread.
Yeah, it was like a slice. Yeah.
And you're supposed to, with your fingers,
Yes.
tear it into bite-sized pieces.
Yes. And
When does the butter?
crumbs?
Yeah.
You have to make the crumbs hit the plate. You have to minimize any crumbage on the rest of the table, which is impossible to do, by the way. At least with the bread they gave us.
How
It was
does
all
the
crunchy
bread
and shit.
go into your mouth? Do you
So
put
after
with
you
your
put the-
fingers?
No. So after you put the butter on it with the butter knife, you take your fork and do that. Bro, I'm
Whose
telling
etiquette
you.
is this? Proper etiquette is to eat bread with your fingers. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, apparently.
Huh. Sure this wasn't a homeless convention? Like, it's
Yeah.
interesting. Okay. So your wealth of bread knowledge exploded.
So yeah, so you can't just take a piece of bread and eat it. That's wrong. No, get out. You're wrong.
Yeah.
That's,
You need to break it up into bite-sized pieces.
Yeah.
And then after you break it up into pieces, you butter the individual pieces.
yeah. Yep.
And then after you butter these individual hand-torn pieces with a
Yup.
fork, you put them into the bread and then jam it into your own eye socket for
Yes,
eating bread that
exactly.
way? All right, that makes
Yep.
sense to me. Wow, that is
Yep.
the dumbest. I went to culinary school, and I have never in my life, I did etiquette training in my culinary program. I've never in my life heard the bread hand method. That's weird. What?
Yeah, it is. It was the strangest and most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to me in that building.
I thought you were supposed to lick the bread and then give it to your neighbor.
Yeah,
Thought that was
exactly,
the proper
yeah.
etiquette. Holy
I mean, I
crap.
did everything else okay though. So like the napkin and the right utensils to use, I got all that down pretty easily. But
Are you
they
sure
got
they
me on
weren't
the
just
bread.
fucking with you?
No, trust me, they weren't. I mean, and they got other people, other tables for other stuff like napkins and the forks
Interesting.
or whatever. They were going around and they were hunting.
Wow.
So that's how I met my boss.
Yeah.
And he offered me an internship, and he says it's a paid internship because I looked at a couple internships before and they weren't paid.
Ridiculous.
And I go, oh fuck no,
No way. No
nope.
way.
I
We're
have
paying
bills
you
to
an
pay, my guy.
experience.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know why. I don't, especially in this economy. How are you getting away with that? Like, I don't know.
I don't know either. Because I think it's, you know how casinos work, even though it's ridiculous that I love gambling, don't get me wrong, but it's ridiculous that people's lives get destroyed because of casinos. It's the same thing. People think like, no. If I just work for free, I'm going to be under this guy who is super great and I'm going to become a CEO in 2 months. It's like, you're an idiot. You're an idiot if you think that's what happens.
Big
Ask
brain
him if
right
he was
there.
an intern. Say, hey, rich guy, were you an
Yeah.
intern? If he says yes, he's lying to you.
Yep. He was some
Oh.
lucky plunk on the stock market. That's what happened there.
Dude.
Yeah.
So, and don't get me wrong, there's a time and place for putting your time in. And, but not for some company who has an intern program. That's when you never do it. That's
Yeah.
when you never do it, is when it's a designed program of free labor.
Yep.
Oh, that's crazy. So you
So
did go ahead.
yeah. Well, technically, I'm still doing it.
Oh. When?
Yeah. So it wasn't just for the summer. So basically, he said I could work like 30 hours during the summer.
Okay.
And then when school starts back up, they are very, very, very flexible on your school schedule. All they have
Nice.
as a requirement is a minimum of 10 hours a week. So I could
Oh,
show up and do 2 5-hour days a week, and then
seriously.
that's it.
That's
Yep.
easy. So you did that intern. So after your bread dinner, you did the internship, and
I got my job. I interviewed with the guy that I embarrassed myself at the dinner table in front of.
he
and
probably wasn't
loves
judging
me.
too hard.
Oh no, he wasn't. But he still remembers it. 'Cause
Yeah.
I interviewed with him for my full-time job this past week, and he still remembers that day.
That's
So
amazing. So, and that you got
Yeah.
to my next question. So, what's the next
Yeah.
step of work? Like, so you've been doing interning for how long now?
a little over a year now. So
All
last
right.
April is when I got hired. So
Wow. And
yep.
what's the full time looking like? I mean,
So yeah, so basically, their process is that they prefer to have people start in the company as interns and then build them up to what I'm going to be next week is an account specialist, which is
ooh,
just, a sales rep. So
that's
I'm
cool.
gonna have my own book of business. I'll be responsible for sales goals and have my own responsibilities to go to meetings and talk with companies about buying product from us and things like that.
Sheesh. Let's
Yeah.
go. Is it
Um,
commission based?
and yes.
Yeah.
So there's the base salary and then there's commissions. Yes.
Yeah, money. I'll tell you, man, if you can be a salesman, you'll never make more money than being a salesman.
Mhm.
Okay, there is the hard part of commissions-based sales, and if you're not on that side of the spectrum, brother, and the fact that you get a base pay on top of that, that's huge. That's a big deal.
Yeah, the base pay I think is like about 2/3 of my total is going to be between commissions and base.
Do you have commission
So
cap?
they're projecting it to be yeah, so the base, well, I mean, I'm sure over time I'll get, pay increases, but they're projecting between the base and commissions to be anywhere from like 40 to 50-ish thousand. It's really depending
Yeah,
right
yeah.
now because it's a new book they just made for me, so it's a lot's up in the air in terms
Yeah.
of the revenue that's going to
Oh,
be generated.
man.
But I know that one of them is going to be an Amazon warehouse, and we're
Hey.
putting in vending machines there, and
Hey.
they're going to be blowing through safety vests and gloves like there's no tomorrow there. So
That's so smart.
yeah,
How cool, man. That's a big deal.
yep.
Do you already have this position?
Yes, I already did the
Amazing.
paperwork.
That's
I need
so
to get
cool.
drug tested still.
Oh, shit. No.
But I'll don't worry. We'll don't worry about that.
You're good.
I've taken
You're-
plenty of drug tests in my time,
You're
especially
good.
in the military.
Yeah, brother.
Yeah.
You're good. That's
Yep.
so cool. So
I still
now,
have to do that.
yeah.
hmm
My real final question, honestly,
Um,
is so now that it's been 4 years and you really get to finally say, like, I did college, what would you tell anybody who was on the fence about going or not to college?
Yeah, actually, so there's a lot of people in my community that are actually going to college this fall. The next generation of college is starting.
Yeah.
A lot of people coming out of the CTown squad. And I actually touched base with some of them last month and before that about like what to expect and whatnot. And first things first, definitely get an internship, paid internship.
Mhm.
If any company, I don't care if it's Bank of America corporate. If it's unpaid, fuck them.
Yeah.
Tell
Good
them
for
no.
you.
All right, stand your ground and show no fear. Tell them no, I want to be paid.
Hell yeah.
Okay, that's the first thing. Second thing is you really need to start out of the gate freshman year with good grades, because if you start off getting with the whole mentality of C's get degrees, your GPA is going to take you forever to build your GPA back up. By the time you graduate. So I would definitely take your classes and your tests and all that seriously. I would also say that don't be surprised if you don't do as well as you expected on your first exam for the class for each semester. That happened for the first time that happened to me. I was freaking the fuck out. I was going to fail the class
That's great advice.
because I bombed it and got like a 70. And I was like, oh my God, why did I do so bad? And it was only the first exam. And there's other exams and
Mhm.
other assignments that'll level out your average. But yeah, don't freak out if you bomb your first exam. That happens a lot.
Yeah.
Apparently, I didn't know that until it happened. And I talked
Really?
to my
I wonder if
professor
it's
and
just the stress
yeah.
of it all, right? Like people
I
just
think
aren't
it's
ready.
that, and they're not ready. They don't they're not used to the dynamics of the class. There's all kinds of factors.
Mhm. Interesting.
Yeah.
I never
And
would have thought
and there's
about
some
that.
classes where like, yeah, and there's some classes where you don't really have to worry about that, but there's definitely some that you will 100% have to show up for, be there on time. Don't show up late. Don't be that kid to show up 20
Oh.
minutes late every day.
Mm-hmm.
Don't even bother going if you're going to be more than like a minute late. It's not worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're going to miss like so much anyway. Um and do not be that chalky milker living in the basement that does not want to do any contribution to a group project. If
Oh
you're
my
going to be that
God.
guy,
Yeah.
just drop out. Get out. Do not
Yeah.
be that person.
Yeah.
Okay? Do you know how many letter grades I was cheated out on because we had a crappy group project because no one did anything
No.
and it was half-assed?
Really?
Yes.
What a
Yup.
pain. It's supposed to be easier
they-
with a group project.
Yeah, and they weigh the project grades to be worth as much as an exam. So it's like
Wow.
it's no different than failing an exam, really. Yeah.
That's
And if there are people fucking you, don't wait till the last minute to let the professor know. Let
Yeah.
them know right away when it starts happening. That way
Man.
that way there's time to fix it and you don't have to suffer like I did with a crappy grade. So
that sucks, man. So like, did you get to pick who you were with,
Yep.
or?
it depends on the class and not
Okay.
usually.
Oh.
Usually it's assigned.
Oh man.
Yeah.
No way. Somebody's fucking me over. Like, oh,
Yep.
that's crazy.
But I'm sure there's professors out there that say, I don't care. Make your groups, whatever. No more
Yeah.
than 4, blah, blah, blah. Or,
Yeah.
depends. Just depends on who you have.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, would you do it again?
With the exact same conditions? Absolutely not.
No.
There would need to be different conditions
Yeah.
for sure. It would have to be COVID free
Yeah.
as a start,
Hey man, I respect it. I respect the honesty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think everybody going into this upcoming fall semester should be very appreciative that most likely they will not be enduring a pandemic college experience.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
Man.
in theory, they should not be. So I
They
think they should
shouldn't
just
be.
appreciate that some people that go to college get fucked over.
Yeah.
And,
And hopefully they're not one of
so
them.
exactly. So I would appreciate every semester because you never know, something crazy might happen in the world. And then that's it.
Man.
Yep.
Well, that's so crazy. That is so crazy. I really do appreciate you letting me into this window of your life, man. Is there anything else really that you want to say to the people about college?
Well, I can say that let's see. You might as well go because I think we're gonna see 5-10 years from now the floor that companies set for applications is gonna start getting even higher.
Mhm.
I don't have plans to get a master's degree, but I'm an econ major, so I think about these things all the time.
Yeah.
I could see in theory, and this is like a really long time from now, let's say like 40 years, something crazy like that. I could see in theory that it would get so competitive in the American workforce that you would need a master's degree to flip hamburgers at McDonald's.
Wow.
In theory, because it's getting more and more competitive.
That is
Because
true.
here's what's happening now. So back in the 80s, pretty much everybody and their mother had a high school degree. So the companies started raising the floor to be college
Mhm.
as the minimum. And now everyone's going to college. So you're going to have the same thing happening, that everyone's going to have
Mhm.
their bachelor's degree.
And
So
it's not going to really mean much. That's interesting because it's
I
true,
see it
man.
getting devalued over time. So get it as soon as possible because I see it getting devalued over time.
Do you see a way to avoid that future for college? Do you think there's a way to save it?
You would need like an entire market reform. You would
Yeah.
have to remove any single kind of subsidy from
Yep.
every single school. You would basically have to force them to compete with each other.
Yep.
For various factors like price and the programs they offer and whatnot. Because they're not doing that right now.
No, they're
And-
definitely not.
And they're poisoning teenagers' minds saying, oh, come to us, it's $8,000, but come to us, we're better. And it's like, well, why are you
Ugh.
better? Just come to us,
Well, then you're
so it's like
21 years old, $90,000 in debt. It's
Yep.
crazy, man. That's
Yep.
just crazy.
So I think so right now everyone's saying, oh, the next economic disaster is going to be the housing bubble. It's the
Nope.
housing market's going crazy again. No, the housing market already exploded 10 plus years ago.
It
We
did.
already experienced that.
Yep.
And they have set regulations to ensure that does not happen again, because
Yep.
I learned about that my freshman year because I didn't really know a whole lot about that.
Yep.
And as econ majors, that's one of the main things we talk about is that and the Great Depression. And man, it was a free for all back
Well,
then.
because the fall is what makes the regulations happen that make it so the fall is so much less likely. The thing that so many people don't understand, it's not about what crashed before. It's what's going to crash next. We just saw the tech sector almost crash.
Out west.
Right?
Those
and then with
banks.
those financial sector, again, almost like these are the new things that are like, shit, we got to start regulating. And I hate big government. But what I don't hate big government doing is making it so companies can't implode the economy, right? So it's not going to be houses.
As it is, it has to happen.
It has to happen.
It's just, there's people that are just using and abusing, and they're going to ruin it for everyone else if they don't do anything about it, So
here's my theory. You want to know the next crash?
It's the college bubble.
Well, that's true. Damn, you stole my thunder. I was going to say the creativity crash, but the college crash, I would say, is a direct relationship to the creativity crash. Because what it's going to, by what I mean in creativity crash, is anybody who makes their living off of an entertainment-esque job will soon be replaced by automation. Think about 80% of YouTube content creators. I know that's one.
Man, we got a rough streaming career ahead of us.
Dude, and that's the thing. It's gonna, because here's what I like to use the example: carriages to cars. The very last company that made carriages, I guarantee you, they made the best carriages you would ever find in the history of carriages. They had the best materials, the best craftsmanship. Every detail was beyond the expectation of the consumer. The only reason that economy disappeared was it became completely irrelevant because of technology. There is no market pressures that made the carriages die. It was simply the fact that the testament of time replaced them. When it comes to entertainment is going to do this, in my opinion. The oversaturation is already happening, right? You have content that is down to almost 30 seconds. Like, the consumer level of entertainment is just shrunk to such a crazy level. Not financially. There's more money than there's ever been in entertainment. But like anything, what happens after the saturation point happens? Value goes down.
I think that's what happened with the tech companies. They just got oversaturated.
Twitter has proven that it can run on less than 100 employees. It had 4,000. That's the economy that's going to crash, man. It's the BuzzFeed. BuzzFeed just went out, right? Look at these tech companies, entertainment companies that are declaring bankruptcy, right? It's like, it's an interesting wave. And as much as homes are overpriced, they ain't crashing, man. The most that's going to happen, it already happened. The most that's going to happen is growth stagnates and goes back to normal. Houses are not doing this again. Not in the way that 2008 happened. And I don't know. We'll see.
You know what was crazy, Marcus, is when I found out when I was a freshman, you could be flipping hamburgers at McDonald's and buy $1 million house, and they did not care because they were just gonna repossess it and sell it to some other schlep. And
there was no burden of proof. No burden of proof.
And I was like, man, they didn't think that was gonna pop one day.
Well, and as a real estate agent, like
those guys were making bank on those houses too,
right? But because I was after the crash agent, I was born into the world of regulation. So in terms of getting a loan, it was unbelievable how hard it is to get someone a loan, even when they made good money, like 8-10 grand a month. They're pulling in, and they still can't get qualified.
Scared.
Yep, it's crazy, man.
They didn't want to lose all their money again.
Yeah,
and I think part of the problem is FDIC having a cap.
Well, and that's
in this country.
You did the economics of it. Like, a huge reason for the housing bubble was because the government forced banks to give loans to unqualified individuals. They basically said, here's free money, give people loans. They were pressured so hard to give loans, and then the government said, we got your back.
The number one weapon, economically speaking, that the government can do is use and abuse that printer that they got over at the Fed. That printer is dangerous.
Yeah. Let's keep that bitch flowing, right? And it's like, What do you think? You got a gerbil farmer and a substitute teacher. They're buying a 12-bedroom condo in Boca. It's like, that's so stupid, man. But the banks were like, I mean, I guess you want to sign.
Hey, fuck it. All right, here.
Hey, I mean, it's such a shame. It's because everyone, in my opinion, is to blame. The bank should have been more moral, but the people shouldn't have been so stupid. Like, you shouldn't buy a $600,000 house if you make $25,000 a year. I'm sorry.
No, you shouldn't buy anything if you can't afford it. I mean, like, well, you know, what happened to that?
Yeah, I don't know. It died a long time ago. Well, CTown, it's been 3 hours, and we've had a wonderful freaking conversation. I think we really covered your college experience, man.
Yes. Yeah.
And I really
I've got one more thing to say
Tell
about
me.
my major, too.
Let's hear it.
So, for those of you guys that are interested in econ majors, fair warning, there is a lot of calculus involved, and I do not recommend it unless you're an absolute math god. And, you know, math was my thing growing up, but when I got to college, math was no longer my thing. So I would explore other majors if math is not your ordeal, okay?
So,
but if it is, you might like it.
So for those math kids, what's the benefit of getting that econ degree? What can they do with it?
You'll easily do all the math portions of it. You might, after you do all the formulas with the calculus, you might not know what any of it means, but at least you know how to do it, you know? I knew how to interpret it. I just didn't know how to get there, you know? So,
man.
Yeah.
I love it, CTown.
So, that's what I got to say. So
I appreciate it. I appreciate
choose your degrees carefully.
Yeah. And if you're going to get a degree, make it worth getting. Right? Because as much as I didn't go to college and I don't particularly like college, I understand there is an absolute purpose for it. And if you're going to participate in the college experience, get that purpose out of it. Get that value out of it. And in spite of pandemic, you seemed like, I really feel like you got the most you could out of the experience that you were offered.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I definitely maximized it, even though the ceiling was a little low. You know,
banging your head against it. Well, cool, man. We got to do this again because I got to interview you about what I want to interview you about, right?
We have a hot topic coming up,
We
guys,
do, and this could be the expose, and I'm excited because I got a lot to say about that too. And as you guys can see, as much as I apologize for I overtalked you a lot today. I didn't mean to. I don't know why. I've just blamed me on being tired. Usually me and CTown have a beautiful flow. Right? I kept over talking him, but that's okay. Because the next time we do this, it's going to be cool, man. Because, like, CTown knows my opinion, and I also know that he will always be honest. And I think a little bit of how we are going to... I know
everyone else's opinions, too, in chat.
I'm excited.
Some of you guys might know what we're talking about. But, yeah, I've gotten feedback from pretty much everyone I'm close to. So, yeah.
And I'm excited to be the person who gets to finally put all of the pieces together and make one cohesive story, and then we can fucking finally push forward from it.
Yeah.
So for all you CTown people, the community, and you, of course, CTownladiesman himself, thank you so much for being here, brother. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. This was great.
Hell yeah, man. And on the next one, I will see you there.
All right.
Okay? Peace out, brother.
All right.
I'll see you later.
Peace out.
Okay,
Thank
bye.
you.
Holy moly, CTownladiesman. I believe, as he would say, what a giga Chad. What an unbelievable Chad of gigness, right? College in 2020. No, college and COVID. I'll tell you, man, there's been a lot of stories that have come out eventually about COVID and just individual people's experiences and just kind of what it meant to live through a global pandemic. Depending on your age, depending on your life experience, how COVID affected you and your life is completely different than everybody else. Even somebody in the same household as yours most likely lived a somewhat different experience through the pandemic. And I can tell you, man, it was really cool to see the perspective of a college kid. You know, CTown's a good dude. He's got a good head on his shoulders. And he ultimately just wants to have a fun life. And so he's always willing to kind of do what it takes to have that fun life. And I can only imagine trying to navigate COVID and navigate college. I don't know. I really enjoyed this. And if it's something you liked, maybe we can do a little, like a COVID thing, right? Like finding different people's experiences and letting them share their COVID experiences on the show. If that's something you liked and you're still happy to be watching, go ahead and let me know in the comments. I love getting comments. But for now, that's it for boy. That's it for your boy. Marcus is tired and it's raining, and I'm going to go relax. So CTown, thank you so much for being here. And all of you wonderful souls watching this, thank you too. And I will see ya on the next one. Bye-bye. Now's the time to say goodbye. It's short, so don't worry. M-A-R-K-U-S, the chicken army. Even with the world distressed, the truth is what you need. M-A-R-K-U-S, the chicken army. He's Marquez, but you're the best. Forever we will hold our standards high. But before we have to say goodbye, I want you all to see M-A-R. You all have greatness within you. K-U-S. How do I know? Because I'm Marcus. You're my family. Thanks for watching, y'all. Mwah.